No, hers would be like Real Housewives. Hers would be trash TV. Absolutely, 10,000%.
Which Real Housewives?
You know, require Amanda to know
Beverly
them all.
Hills.
Atlanta.
No, she
Oh,
needs
God,
she needs the
yes.
super
Is
high
it
class.
New York, the original?
New Jersey.
No, I think it's...
Can it be one that doesn't exist, like Real Housewives boarding school alumni?
If they had Real Housewives of Bel Air.
Wait, hold on. Real Housewives might be invalidated because she might have been on the Real Housewives of wherever Crow came from.
No, she hasn't.
Or
Crow's
like
never been
Crazy
married.
Rich Asians. She'd fall in that group.
No.
She just has more money than she knows what to do with.
I did not know she was AAPI.
It does not appear that Bree is going to be able to give the recap.
Oh no!
Is everything, or is everything not everything?
Hey,
Good
he just said, "I'm back, but can't really talk at the moment."
Okay.
Well, then we are going to need Lucas to type out his answer to what movie Briarios would most.
Oh yeah, what movie or TV show would Briarios be into?
If we can't get an answer, maybe we should all take bets on his answer. That could also be an option.
Lost dinner.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
Oh, what happened?
Hope you feel better.
It's messed up. Let's play
Oh.
an upsetting theme. Everyone's favorite triangle. So.
Dun, dun.
While Bree
It'd
is
be Family Matters.
contemplating their favorite movie. Lucas, if it's cool with you, I could just read out the recap as you've got it written.
Can I suggest for a future session that we do a popcorn recap where one person starts with one sentence, the second person starts with the second sentence, and we popcorn until we go through the entire recap?
We could try, sure.
Just one.
Even better,
Can I lie?
we could do 8-headed Broadway star, where everybody says one word.
Oh, that would take forever.
That would take a
That's
while.
disastrous.
Anyway.
What kind of an improv group do you think we are, Ben?
A very practiced one. We've been doing it for years.
That's true.
Improv. I'm looking at the script right now.
So last week, Bree and Nalia are up on a rooftop, both riddled with javelins and spider bites. Bree's trying to make sure the large spiders focus on her while her daughter gets in strikes from their flank when Nalia takes a nasty stray work hammer to the face. Bree sees Nalia bleeding profusely as she's running out of stamina. Bree tells Nalia, "Go get Vora and get out of here!" Spiders and bugbears get the call to retreat and scurry over the eastern wall of the village. But Bree doesn't understand their language, and in Bree's mind, they must be regrouping. She has to get to them before they do. Bree jumps over the wall and sees that the enemies are already fleeing with some of the villagers. Bree's protector instincts kick in and she charges at them to slow them down, protecting her little ones. Knowing that they're safe now, she can focus wholly on this threat, maybe buying some time for her girls to get to safety. But Bree stretches herself too far, winding up alone and surrounded in the blink of an eye. She's overwhelmed and knocked unconscious, blacking out. Falling what seems like an eternity in a fraction of a second at the same time, Bree hits the cold, hard ground, weary and exhausted. She looks around. Time has slowed and all color has drained from the world. From one side, she sees Bantu in the distance giving a battle cry and moving as if possessed by the great spirit of Lua himself. And in the far distance, the cries of Crow, Io, and Seneca's pain surrounding them like they're distorted, like underwater. The sounds are barely audible, but Bree hears her little ones getting hurt. She puts every fiber of her being into moving her body, but it just won't budge. Like two of Matanui's great warriors, Tahu and Kopaka, Rien on a horse, and Yastrev leaping over the walls, they join into the fray to help save the villagers. Bree turns her head towards the captured villagers, but sees only a singular brilliant emerald tree standing taller than the sky, with branches wide enough to embrace a continent. This tree dominates the entirety of Briarios' vision, and in a booming voice she hears this tree speak. Your heart is in the right place, but it would appear that I may have chosen the wrong individual to carry me to our salvation. You are too reckless, wild, and lack self-preservation. As silence begins to carry across this desolate wasteland, Bree, with her head hung low, struggles to muster enough energy to stand up to her full height. Bree eventually lifts her head towards the great tree, locking eyes on it, and spits a glob of blood onto the ground. Pointing a single finger at the tree, she wipes the drying blood from her mouth. With her other hand, she yells out, Matanui, it is my wild spirit and recklessness, my love that saved you from that dying island. This road has laid out before the both of us. We travel it together whether you like it or not. Combat is happening all around them. Bantu calls out to Bree with his healing words, Don't you die on me! My family's calling me home. If you want to make it to your goal, quit your bitching and help me. Matanui says, Excellent. I had feared that the spirit of Tahu had left you. I will grant you these abilities to defend your family, like that of the powerful mother panther protecting her cubs. As Bree begins to wake up, distant words from Matanui can be heard. Go now, fight strong, and protect our heart. As Bree stands back up and feels a new, untamed primal ferocity within herself, as she lets a fearsome growl loose. The emerald tree on her chest sprouts vines that weave their way up her neck and around her back and ears, and finish gently into a circlet around her brow. Her muscles vibrate with anticipation, allowing herself to surrender to the emotion of the moment. She pulls out her son's Totoka and vows once again, I will protect my family! Meanwhile, the rest of the boring company are busy fighting and falling and getting back up again, as Eo's casting Palatine lightning on a dude, with Crow protecting Eo and Seneca, sorcerously bursting across the place. Seneca daggering fools like they were pincushions, with Yas controlling all the battlefield, while Rien charges through on horseback and like a hero of Matanui. Shikari, like the spirit of life, Ignika, was going around patching wounds and with sure sight aiming her crossbow true. Once the foes in range were dealt with, Bree made the call to cut our losses and secure everyone and everything left inside of the village. As soon as the group was safe, she bolted towards her home to check on her girls, and with great relief finding that her family is okay. The three of them break down crying and apologizing for misunderstandings in the past and embrace. Shikari takes the lull in combat to use her mother's book to begin speaking an incantation, nudging the undead round the West Vale's gates instead of through it, as everyone else begins to tend to the town folks' well-being. That's where we're going to be picking back up.
That was a really good recap.
It was a really good read.
Fantastic, Lucas.
I was clapping behind scenes.
So, how do we figure out who's missing?
Wait,
Not
is
me.
this the morning after, or are we still... Sorry.
Still after the fact.
Oh.
Or like if you guys would like, we can make a general plan of what you would like to have done that night and skip forward to enacting that plan.
No, I think we need to come together after the fight. I think it's just a matter of us we never really discussed what would happen afterwards, so we can just sort of organically try and make our way to a universal.
I think maybe putting everyone or pushing everyone to the Tipsy Tankard. Seems big enough for everyone to meet up, look eye to eye.
To get a
Yeah.
count of how many people are missing.
That,
Yeah.
Kind
yeah.
of like a town hall meeting.
Oh, that's a good idea, Crow.
That would be good. We
okay.
shouldn't leave the gates unattended or anything, or any NPCs still up and ready to take over guarding and stuff like that.
Lilia has tended to some of the guards at the tops of the towers to the point that they're starting to regain some hit points and they're regaining consciousness, picking their weapons back up and standing. As she's going to continue healing them. It's going to take a little longer. It's slower. She's less effective in combat, but outside of combat, she can slowly heal them back up to full.
Okay.
Rian can.
Shikari's just gonna quickly tell them, all right, you guys hold the fort. I'm going to take a quick accounting of the numbers, and she's gonna take out like a page of parchment and a quill and start writing down like the various names of like the people and like, hey, do you know this person? What's his name? And like who's dead and who's alive? And she's gonna make her way through the town toward the tankard or the tavern.
Roll me a charisma check.
Oh, okay. I would think
-3.
that after this fight,
Can
we'd all
I-
be in this
can I
together, but
support-
okay.
Can I support her?
Sure. Bantu, likewise, roll me a charisma check.
Well, I got a 7 on my first one.
All right.
Yeah,
So it's going to take a little while.
Okay.
I got a natural 20 for 24.
Oh!
Oh, sorry. Wait, why did I get a +4 on that?
Because of your charisma?
No, my charisma's only 17.
Because if you don't point it out, it would be fine.
Why do I get an extra +1?
Maybe your feet?
Are you
Because you're
proficient?
not proficient with that skill, and so you're getting half your proficiency bonus for a jack
Is
of
it
all
Jack of all
trades?
trades?
Maybe?
Oh, to ability checks. Oh,
Because you're Bantu, dang it.
huh. Huh. Yeah, no, but it's Jack of all trades is the answer, but I never knew that.
Definitely helps. You guys are able to.
I did personally save like a number of these individuals, so they probably inclined to help me figure these things out.
They got away with 4 members of the guard that were specifically all on patrol along that same eastern wall that the bugbears breached over. So it seems as though wherever the bugbear breached, they just kidnapped the guards that were there and then just kept on coming across. But in total, 4 guards are missing and unaccounted for.
Would you say at this point we've had enough time for a short rest?
So we just came out of combat, didn't we?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Why do we think they're just kidnapping people instead of killing people?
I
They
mean,
could be-
let's decide where we are for all these conversations. So Shikari's still walking. I don't know how Bantu heard that she was doing this check, but somehow he heard, right?
Well,
And
it
so
was
you
his
must have had-
idea, so that's why he went with you.
To townspeople for their names and take the names of the dead? That was your
Yeah.
idea?
Well, he said, "How are we going to count how many people got taken?" Yeah, and
And
then you said that, and so Bantu came with you to help.
So anyway, regardless of that, so we're working our way through the town together. So we're together. So anything you
Yeah.
say, you're saying to me. Is anybody else with us?
EO is trying to get just enough rest to sort of recoup his magical abilities, and then he's going to man the walls to make sure that we're actually safe while this meeting is going on.
Rihanna is going to do the same thing.
Yeah,
We'll stick with both of them.
And what are you doing with the horse?
I'm still on the horse.
Okay. Keeping the horse with you.
She's never not going to be on the horse.
Exactly. I fucking love that horse. What, Jeremy? What was Yas going to do?
Yas was going to go through the town to make sure there weren't any more enemies hidden or people hurt.
And while he's sort of trying to rest, and he and Crow and Rian are going around, Io is also taking the opportunity to like prestidigitate, try to clean anybody up, try to fix what little things he can.
Cool.
Just try to make people feel a little bit better knowing that we just went through this.
Yeah. Rian,
Uh,
same thing outside of the wall, though. Sorry, Summer.
Oh no, that's okay. My thing lagged, so there was a little silence there. Seneca will do kind of the same as Io, except she's going to use mending to fix some like minor things that maybe are too fine to fix with your hands.
Sure, like patching up some of the wall, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
The gate needs to probably just be rebuilt entirely.
Right? Maybe some of them like broke off locks or some shit, so she'll make sure that's all fixed and whatnot.
Cool.
I just realized Barden's out here. Is this the tavern owner?
Yes.
Okay, Yas would take Barden back to the tavern.
All right.
While we're walking around, Crow is gonna cast light to kind of give everyone a better visual. I have dark vision. I think most of us do, but villagers don't. So maybe help a little bit.
And some
She's
party members.
she's holding a flashlight as the perfect helper would.
Sure.
And every once in a while, Io says, "Shine it on the source, mistress."
Exactly. She gets distracted and turns around and sorry. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So Shikari, why do you think that they just took people instead of kill people?
Now they have perfect candidates for interrogation. The guardsmen would be not only were there the easiest pickings, but they would know everything we've been doing to defend the town. Our one advantage has been that the goblins didn't necessarily know who has been harassing their lines this entire time, and I think in short order they're going to figure it out. That there is a party of fighters, they're going to have fairly good descriptions, they might even have our names, and they'll know our weaknesses and our strengths, and the next time we fight them, we won't just be able to shock them when they think they're just going to be encountering, a bunch of villagers. They're going to not be surprised when they see us standing on the ramparts the way they were this time around. So,
You know
I
what
don't
I
know.
think?
What's up, Bunty?
I think that they're gonna do to those people what they did to the boars. I bet they like shoved troll blood down their throats and turned them into mutant thingies, and then they send those to attack us. And just generally make bigger goblin army. I bet they do
Well,
some fucked up shit like that.
That's terrifying to think of, Bontu, but I think what's more terrifying is to think that we might both be right. Interrogation first, transformation second.
Yeah, probably true. That's what my mom would do.
I know, my goodness, Bontu. Your mother sounds scary.
Oh, terrifying. If you weren't afraid of her, I would think something fucked up with you, honestly.
Question. Were you taller or shorter than your mother?
Oh, my mom, huge. Orc women, very large. That's
Did you
why
have
the
brothers?
queen is the queen.
And I never asked, do you have brothers and sisters?
Oh, yeah, I have like 10 brothers and sisters.
Okay.
Well, I don't know how many sisters I have. I lost count, but I have 10 older brothers.
Right, for succession, I'm sure they kept a better tally on those. I do have a question, though. Were you shorter than all of your siblings? Or just...
No, I'm
Just from-
me not the runt of the litter. Me in the middle somewhere.
Oh, being the middle might be worse.
The litter.
But, you get used to things.
true. It's true. All right. So, I think we've got a decent tally here. Some people have been taken. Trying to get an account of how many have died. I think my tally stands roughly. How many townspeople have died? Corpses actually in the town? None. No casualties.
That can't be right. We had no deaths on our side.
0 deaths.
Yo, no, this has to be celebrated. Where's Barton? We need to celebrate. No one died.
There's dead bugbears in town, no dead people.
Bunty, before we get carried away with ourselves and our success, I think we need to think about some few things. First of all, rebuilding the front gate. We have assignments to parcel out, patrols to assign. Do we want to go and try and catch up with the people who have been taken and get them back before they can be turned into whatever or interrogated it by whatever? I mean,
Sure, but that's not going to happen tonight.
Yes, it is. This is exactly when you do it, right after battle, not after.
No way we catch up with them, Shikari. No way. We need light to do that. These people can't see in dark.
Oh, okay, so you're saying we send out a search party maybe in the morning, or not at all?
I don't know. We know where they're taking them. It's not like we don't know that part.
All right, but let's put a pin in this and remember, we need to discuss this as a group, especially with the townspeople, and try not to let the party get away from us before we can make some concrete decisions about what we're going to do next.
Okay, but hear me out.
The front gate. It's basically a perforated page. It's going to get punched through by the next person who tries to tear it apart.
And we will get to that. I'll be honest with you, Shikari. It wasn't much to begin with. But what we need to do is celebrate with these people the fact that they fought off goblins. It will inspire them, and they need that reinforcement right now, because before, they didn't think they could do shit. But now, they know they fought off goblins, no one died. We need to celebrate that.
I love your positivity, but we saw maybe, 24 goblins.
But they don't know that. That's like the first goblins they ever saw. That's the first battle they ever saw.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. So you'd rather have the townspeople... I'm not saying they shouldn't celebrate. I'm not opposed to celebration. I'm saying we should come together as a town post-fight, acknowledge what we've lost, what we need to accomplish, set out assignments, and then celebrate. And you're saying it's more important to ignore all of that, acknowledge that we survived this first very preliminary fight by partying first, and then in a stupor afterward decide what we're going to do next. I'm just trying to
we need to celebrate victory, and then we can get to work.
Okay. Well, I think that's something for the group to take into account. If I'm overrun, I obviously am going to try and be a party pooper. That's what librarians do. But I'm also going to not fight it. I suppose I'll just spend the night making to-do lists. That would make me feel better. A to-do list is always nice, and then you can put a check mark next to it in the morning, and everything will be all right. As long as we put the check mark next to the list, it'll be all right. Everything's
fine. I get it. Nothing feels quite as good as crossing it off, but. Well,
you party your way, I'll party mine.
I don't. I get. I'm hearing you. I don't understand, but I'm hearing you. But I also don't understand why librarians have to be party poopers. I mean, like, is that just a thing where you come from? Do they just not like?
Just kind of, noting a stereotype. I think librarians are the most fun people I've ever met, but I've also met like 100 people total in my entire life, so I don't know. But I think they're great. I think they're fantastic. I am one.
Shikari,
my best friend is one. My adopted dad is one.
I understand you a little better now.
And you know what, Bontu? I think I understand you a little better.
Because you know what's crazy is I'm pretty sure I have like 100 people in like my extended family alone.
I mean, libraries are big, but it's a big library, so even though there are many librarians, it's, you run into people in the book stacks, you know what I mean? And obviously in my wing, there were people, in it and stuff like that, but honestly...
And my brothers and sisters all were for making soldiers for the queen, so,
And you know what? Towns of any size are pretty rare. I think that's why I feel so committed to defending this one. They seem to be really I don't know, like they want to make a go of it, and I want to help.
Well, I mean, before you had to just outrun the terror. Like, you couldn't make a town. It's kind of a new thing. That's why the horde, being honest, that's why you have so many kids, is not all of them make it, when you have to move around and avoid things in the wastes. Life can be cheap.
That's why I'm so committed to what's happening here. Everything was so in flux, and, my ancestors lost their family home, and I think it's lovely that they're trying to create some of that again, There is no ancestry until someone puts down a pike and says, this is where we start. And so, I don't know, I want to help them make a go of it as best I can, but it seems difficult when there are, such forces at play, so I guess I'm glad we're on the same team at least.
Yeah, I mean, the only way I've found to get to be able to do that, is be strong and fight off anything that come your way. But, that orc way of doing things.
What I've also found, and I think you can appreciate this, because you're quite intelligent yourself, but I think it's being smart as well.
Definitely helps. Let's go find everyone else. And we can...
Are we at the tavern yet?
Oh, yes, tavern. Let's go.
You guys are making it back up to the tavern about the same time that you see Yashtrev helping a very kind of disheveled dwarf back to his tavern. As Barden is kind of limping a little bit as he's still kind of coming back to his senses after being kidnapped by one of the bugbears.
Barden, you hang out in a chair and just tell me what to do. I will be your bartender.
Does he require any healing? Are you injured?
I mean, if you've got any sort of varieties of beverages, I'd be happy to sample a few of them. I wouldn't say no. I'm not necessarily opposed, but I'm sure it's nothing a few days' sleep might not be rested off, Nothing long-lasting.
Is he gushing blood or anything like that?
He's like bruised up a little bit, a few scrapes. Not terribly injured.
Okay.
He's like very dizzy still from whatever the bugbears did to like poison him that knocked him unconscious. So he's a little bit out of it.
Can I do like a medicine check to just basically sort of like stabilize him a little bit, like smelling salt under his nose to snap him out of it?
Absolutely. Roll me a medicine check.
6.
All right, that's definitely wake you right up.
All right, give him all the booze you can, and let's just undo the work I've just done.
Okay,
There is booze, so you got it, boss.
You should find what's left of the roast boar chunks, potatoes, carrots, onions, and the like. Should be able to make a nice stew. If you wouldn't mind, dearie, if you could pop the cork open on that Dwarven Delight, I think it's time we crack open a rich, creamy ale brewed with some honey and spices after a rather close call of an evening, let's call it.
If you could, I'm gonna talk to the bartender. If you could spread the word as town people come in that in that corner of the bar we're going to be strategizing defense. Festivities I think are going to commence either way, like a levy that's going to break. But if anybody wants to discuss, repairing the gate or assignments or anything like that, I'm happy to write down any ideas and any requests. And if anyone's missing, just send them my way, and I'll take note of all their concerns.
Very well, then. Very well.
Okay, I got it. So everyone gets a drink, and then they report to General Shikari.
I mean, if I'm being promoted, I'll take it.
If you're the one leading, then you the general. Or war leader,
like
but I don't think you want that title.
I'm more like the quartermaster in that I'm writing everything down. I'm not promising to solve anything, but I will write it down. And she'll grab an ale, go sit down, and start making a to-do list. Starting with repair gate.
And Bantu is gonna cook. Is that a survival check?
Sure. Or performance for this.
Ooh, performance much better. Much better.
Let's make a show of it.
Oh, I only got a 10.
No. I mean, it's hard to mess up roast boar, potatoes, carrots, and onions when you're making a stew, but something about the seasonings is just like a little light. You know, it's not bad. Everybody eats their bowl happily.
What's seasoning? You cook meat, you eat it. Am I missing something here? To how it work, right?
Hold on. Perfect meme in mind.
Hey, Bree. Bree's gonna come season the food. Roll a performance or survival check, Bree.
Bree's actually proficient in cooking.
That's even better.
Then roll that.
I have cook's utensils and a cooking skill.
What is
So
that?
Bree actually comes in with like knife skills and actually is like chopping the carrots and shit.
Too, you've got to put a little salt in that, sweetheart. So I get to roll that with advantage because I have a tool and a skill associated.
Blow him away, Bree Bree.
Dirty 20.
So I imagine you see Bantu back in the kitchen, like arraying a fine selection of sticks to set up this pot over the fire, and Bree comes over like, no, let's just like use these tools instead.
Yeah. There's a hanger for the pot. A little spice, little thyme, and it'll be just fine.
Oh, hey, that rhymed.
Just for you, Bantu.
Victory!
That rhymed too, and I didn't mean it.
Feels good. Did you hear? No one died. We had a few people captured, but not a single casualty on our side.
That's really good. I think I was the closest one to dying, so we came out ahead, I think.
But you're not dead.
No, thank you, Bantu. I really do appreciate it.
Here's your drink. Go report to Quartermaster Shikari.
I most certainly will. Ryan, did you get my message about that hammer? Was it a light hammer?
Which hammer?
The one that hit my daughter.
The one that hit your daughter from...
It's a throwing hammer, isn't it?
Bugbears. Let's find out.
Because I might want to practice with it, and he had a bugbear in the head.
Oh, here is a light hammer.
Right on. All right. Thank you.
Yep. Cool.
Quartermaster, I'm reporting for duty.
Oh my god, I said that in jest. Bantu is so literal. Darling, I'm so glad you're safe. And she's going to give her a hug.
Oh, I'm glad that you're safe too. Thank you for keeping everyone alive. I know that you worked really hard.
I mostly kept the undead from entering in the front gate, and you never know how that's going to go. But I heard some things happen back where you guys were. Are you all right? I thought maybe did someone get caught in the fray? I mean, your family's safe.
They are. Nalia helped before the spiders and the bugbears went back over the wall. She helped. She actually did a magnificent job protecting me. Speaking of that, on a side note, she wants to have you over for dinner at some point. She wants to apologize for being rude.
God, yeah, I didn't know what to make of that, and frankly, I was a little unsure. I'm adopted. I I'm from kind of a hodgepodge family, and the family members are people I choose, and no offense, there was a moment there where I was like, choices be damned, I might not be able to make this one. So I just your daughter-in-law and I don't want us to have friction, but I also somehow don't know if I'm ready for this kind of fight. I do appreciate she wants to apologize, though. I want to apologize too. I don't know what to do. I'm kind of a kid myself. I don't know how much I'm supposed to wade into these family affairs, so I never really know.
Oh, you're fine. It's something, and I think now that she's experienced what we've had to experience, she's understanding how much pressure and responsibility it is to protect people, because she hasn't had to do it. And I think she finally understands what being still in the moment means, and your knowledge and your experience, your wisdom is far more than your years show. You're very wise, and you've learned a lot, and there's a lot that we can all learn from you. And you should share it. Don't hold back. And as far as the whole family thing and being uncomfortable, I completely understand. And if that's something that you're not ready for at the moment, then I completely understand and appreciate as much time as I've had with you if you want to distance yourself from the family environment. There's no hard feelings for that.
Might be what we need, especially given how dangerous everything is right now. I hope you know I've appreciated everything we've been through together, and you introducing me to so many things, but I think it's better if right now we're just friends and comrades, and we set aside the romantic part. I'm obviously still ready to be friends with your family and all of that. And, if your daughter-in-law ever wants to feed me a good hearty dinner, I am absolutely going to show up with an empty belly. But I think maybe, I think that's a good idea. And I hope that's all right.
It's perfectly all right, sweetheart. We all go through our ups and downs, and, as long as I'm not completely locked down, there's always a chance in the future if you feel like you've explored the world a little bit more and you want to settle down at the end, that's fine. But there's no hard feelings from me.
I'm so glad we've met. And, thank you for everything.
And thank you. You've been wonderful, and I still want to study some of those books that you've got because they are quite interesting. So as long as we can still have some study dates and leave it at that, I'm fine.
And just so we're clear, I'm still invited for dinner. That's still on.
Oh no, you have to come.
All right, yes, I will be there. And, if Bora ever wants to borrow the acorn helmet, all she need to do is ask.
Actually, I think it might be beneficial if maybe when we have some downtime, if you could get her churched up on reading and the knowledge aspect, because she's a very powerful young woman, but I think that she hasn't quite found her path, so I want her to have some options. So maybe if she does some book learning, then maybe she'll learn that, and then if she wants to fight, then she can learn that from me. But it'd be nice for her to have other options.
Are you saying you're looking for a tutor? I absolutely
I'm not good with the maths.
Wholeheartedly. Yes, absolutely. And let's hope, unlike Bull, I don't need to tie her to the doorknob to get her to pay attention.
You might have to, because that's a wild child. You're going to have to lock her down some way.
I like to make it fun. A little scavenger hunt among the book stacks in my infinite book bag of holding. She might think a little bit fun. if I let her, borrow the inkhorn helmet as a reward for lessons well learned and fall on her head at the end of every lesson? I mean, who knows? It could be beneficial. Maybe she'll retain more than she loses. I'm gonna take the gamble.
I think she
But that
will.
does sound fun.
Especially if you're teaching.
I'll start drafting up a curriculum right now.
I do appreciate it. I would say maybe let's put the curriculum off until after we're secure. I don't want to stretch it too thin.
It's fine. It's just I've already started making the list, so if I don't put it down on a piece of paper, it's going to be bothering me and circling in the back of my mind while I'm making the list that actually has to do with the town. So I'm just going to write it really quickly while I'm looking at you and maintaining eye contact underneath this paper of things that actually have to do with the town. And look, it's done.
Bree will just lean in and kiss you on the forehead. Don't you ever change for anybody, Chikari. And
I'm not sure I could.
Good. Don't let him. Then Bree is going to go let Shikari get to her listing. That's very important. Get things on paper. And she's going to go make sure that Bantu's good and see where she can help around. If need be, she'll go and start repairing the wall. She needs to keep her hands busy right now. She's still coming off of the adrenaline.
Cool.
Had to break up, kind of.
After this many years, sweetheart, I've had too many breakups. It's all right.
Saying I'm not even a blip on your radar. You know what? It's fine. It's fine.
I left it open.
Clearly
you'll come back around at some point as she walks away, strutting her stuff.
I like the confidence. Shikari's watching. She can't help it.
Burn my scrolls. Right. I think everybody's settling in for the evening, making repairs about town, prepping for defenses and repairs, and organizing everybody accordingly.
Mistress Crow, I really do think it would be best if you went back to the tavern and got some rest. You did have quite the rough go of it during the fight.
Yes, it was really really rough and quite terrifying. But honestly, I think heading back without you is more scary than I would much rather kind of stick around you and help. In this light. I mean, if you didn't have the light, who knows? You might get lost in the middle of town. It's just walking in between buildings and getting back to the tavern. It's just you never know. These things kind of swoop down from the ceiling and try and kill you. You run into a bugbear when you turn a corner blindly. I think walking with you now I feel quite peaceful actually. It's nice. I'm pretty tired, but I can power through.
Of course, mistress. Rian, would you care if I took just a brief few moments to go back to the tavern? I'll be right back, I promise.
I don't know if we should leave Rian here either. I mean, it's just the horse is very powerful and fantastic and quite beautiful. But if one of those I'm not sure anyone should be alone right now. I think a buddy system is really important. And it's okay. I don't want to be a bird. I'll hold the light. If you guys don't have the light, you won't be able to see what you're doing. So it's quiet. I'm okay here. It's okay.
And Io just starts doing a quote unquote patrol that happens to take them very close to the tavern.
It is fine. I'm going to continue to patrol outside the wall. I have my own light, if you don't mind.
I wasn't trying to play. Don't have a light. It's just your horse is
No.
cool. It's kind of freaky out here.
It is fine. I want to ensure no one else is taken.
You're doing a really good thing.
And just out of character, taking a look, how badly injured is Rian?
She has 5 hit points left. Very injured. She
We are
is.
really fucked up. Oh no.
One arm is just not moving.
Could Crow take out a handkerchief and kind of like try and like, I guess since you're on a horse, maybe like, I don't know, pat your leg with it or something. Here, this could wipe away some of the blood. Here, this you got a little smidgen, and she's just gonna like kind of go to point to a spot and then just kind of usher to everywhere.
Crow,
It
bring
is-
her to a friend who she knows can heal her. I don't know.
That's what EO's attempting here. Rian, why don't you come with us? We should probably eat something before we spend the evening on patrol.
No,
And I'm sure they have some food at the tavern. Why don't we go do that, and then we'll come back out and patrol again. They probably have fish.
I suppose that you're right. Yes, I'm dealing with. Yes. Oh, okay.
The horse. It's okay. The horse is gonna be okay.
Ariane will clumsily get out. She can't use one of her arms.
I will
she'll
attempt to
probably-
help, even
So-
though I have no strength.
EO's going to like talk her into staying on the horse, and he's going to take the reins and just lead the horse.
Yeah.
And we're going to patrol over towards the tavern.
Eo's like, come on, girls. You guys both need to sleep. For different reasons.
And once they get close enough to the tavern, he's going to lead them right to it. And just be like, yes, why don't we get some dinner, and then we'll start the patrol again.
Oh, it does smell quite divine. I wonder what they've been cooking up in there.
And as you guys enter the tavern, there's a much more relaxed looking Barden Stonehand who's got a variety of empty beverages displayed in front of him and kind of all different states of askew in front of him. And upon walking in, he's like, oh, greetings! Welcome back, friends. So glad that you survived the bugbear invasion of Westvale. Welcome. So glad you can make it. You all look rather tough and strong. I don't suppose any of you would be willing to assist with the rebuilding of the gate. I've been tasked with finding volunteers to help with repairing our things around here. If you wouldn't mind sticking around, the taskmaster Shikari's got a list, and I'm sure she's got something for you on it.
Oh, could you tell us where Shikari is? That's actually who I was looking for.
She said that she'd be around the back.
Excellent. And he just starts leading the horse with Rian on it back towards Shikari.
Hey, everybody, come get a victory drink and Bree made victory stew.
Bontu, where's Shikari?
Oh, she's over there in the corner. Quartermaster Shikari.
Oh, right, yes. Quartermaster Shikari.
I thought it was Corner Master.
Oh, that's good, Bree. That's a funny joke.
I was just
Brian
in the
was at
midst
the
of,
exact same time as me.
I was just in the midst of making a list of things that we can do better for the next fight. Oh my God, Brienne, is that your arm?
Yes,
Or a funny little sack of potatoes?
I was hoping you might be able to take a look at her. She hasn't been able to move it.
I should imagine not attached by 3 tendons. All right, let me see if I can fix this.
And she's still on the horse.
In the bar.
So the horse is in the bar?
Yeah, she's on the horse in the bar. I did not want to risk getting her down.
Can we very carefully? Well, you know what? I'll heal her from up there. The horse is already. The horse has left the stables, as it were.
You want to heal the horse?
I'm gonna heal. Rian. I'm gonna do. Which one's a good one?
And while Shikari's taking care of that, I'm going to guide Crow over to the bar.
Oh wow, you guys have really been busy. This look at all the things you've made.
Crow, what do you have to drink?
Bontu, if I might, he sort of like waves at you.
Sorry, didn't see you down there.
Yes, of course. And he like pulls you aside.
What's up?
Normally, the mistress does not drink strong alcohol. I always make sure to water down her wine. It's at her parents' request, you understand. But I think tonight she might need something a little stronger. Do you think you could arrange that?
You want me to get Crow drunk?
Yeah.
No, definitely not drunk. Just something to help her sleep.
Okay.
You're
So
asking
wine.
the orc how to put someone to sleep.
I mean, I know how to serve somebody enough alcohol to make them pass out.
I don't know that you've quite got the thing I'm asking for, but I don't have time right now, so...
Okay. You want like a nightcap.
Yes, yes, a nightcap, thank you.
Okay. I think Bartran has something like that. Barden. I think Barden probably has something like that. You think she can drink anything made by dwarves?
Maybe a small glass.
Okay. Hey, Crow, I've got a shot of something for you.
I don't want to get shot. No, thank you.
No. It's in this little glass, and normally you just drink it all at once, but if you just want to sip on it, that could work too.
Oh, okay, like a wine tasting. This is lovely.
And Bartu's gonna put like the strongest dwarf drink in there, but just a little bit.
Oh.
Sip that.
Go sip that. Oh,
Dwarven
this is
rubbing alcohol.
It's really quite an intense flavor. Is it supposed to burn?
Yeah, that means it's good. Cheers.
Yes,
Oh.
mistress, the warmth will help you feel better. It warms you from the inside.
Oh, so it's like a health drink. Interesting. Okay. Well, cheers. This is really quite potent.
Here, Eo. Here's yours.
Yes,
I can
thank you,
feel it
Bontu.
all the way down.
Yeah, it'll linger. It should linger for a little while too, so it's nice and warm.
It's on the table. That's amazing. I feel warmer already. It's just sipping. Do you have like crackers, peanuts, anything some crumpets would be really good with this?
Here's some
Mistress.
stew.
Yes, mistress, if you'll go sit over here, and he's going to try to find like an actual chair and try to put some like, not bedding exactly, but something soft in it. And he was gonna lead her over there and sit her down and bring her a bowl of stew.
Oh, that smells lovely. It tastes much better than this drink. I don't know what Bontu gave me, but it's not really good, Eo.
Unfortunately, dwarven beverages generally aren't, but they are quite potent at what they're intended for.
Well, we've been through a lot, so I guess I'll take your word for it. But I wouldn't recommend it for yourself.
Yeah, thank you, mistress.
Protect him from a bad drink.
I will sip on my shot and then take a really large bite of food after every time I take a sip.
Washing it down.
Washing it down. I got a chaser. Stew chaser. How's Rian doing? With the whole arm situation.
Oh, well, it looks like she's in excellent hands. Shikari seems to have it well taken care of. Would you like me to go check on her?
It's okay. I'm quite enjoying your company. She really saved my ass back there. It wasn't doing so great. That bugbear was really quite terrifying. I'm really glad she was there by the fence, because the thing almost just went right through me with its spears. Just whew.
I couldn't help but overhearing. You should tell her that yourself.
Everybody's so into judging.
Yes.
She's a
I must also find some way to thank them. I don't know what I would have done if something had truly happened to you.
Do you think Shikari likes fish too?
I think perhaps we should stay away from the fish for a while.
It was really quite exhausting sitting there waiting for you to catch something.
But, mistress, if you excuse me, Bantu, thank you very much. If you wouldn't mind just making sure that her drink is topped up, I want to be sure that she gets the health benefits of the dwarven beverage.
Yeah, I didn't hear. This time, Crow, I mixed it with something to make it taste a little better.
Oh, so I don't have to drink the soup right afterwards?
I mean, you can.
I mean, it's good. It's just okay. Well, yes.
It's still gonna burn. It just might. It just might not.
It was gonna taste better.
You just might not make that face every time you drink it.
No, it's good. It's much better. Just don't. Let me know if you're gonna go back on patrol, and I can come with you. Okay.
Of course, mistress.
Okay. And then she's gonna settle into her cozy little nook that you made, and hold her drink with two hands and sip on it, and make a terrible face every single time.
And Io will keep bustling around, and he will buttle, and he will keep buttling until he sees that she is falling asleep.
It won't take long.
Is everyone back here? Hey, anyone seen Seneca?
She's just been plugging away outside.
Fixing the walls.
Probably bleeding from a few cuts, but she doesn't give a fuck.
Why is she so badass?
What's blood when you tie
She's a badass.
I wouldn't say badass.
Yeah.
She just
grew up in the Empire,
she just grew up in the Empire.
where life was cheap.
She's hardcore.
Oh my god, twins!
And women were women.
As someone who had Canum her entire life, this is nothing.
The good Canum,
God
right?
damn.
The good Canum, right?
Canum's the bad.
Oh, I thought Canum was like the universal.
That was the whole system, wasn't it?
I thought it was
There's two words, Canum, and then there was the other word. One was negative, one was positive.
Yeah. The whole thing was like the abacus.
I thought Canum was just like the currency, and you had good Canum and bad Canum. That makes more sense.
No, I think there was a that.
The Canum and Valor.
If it was negative, it was Kynum.
There you go.
If it was positive,
That's what it was.
Well, I mean,
My
she's badass.
Negative.
Potato, potato.
funny thing is, my favorite thing that you put into your description of it, Ryan, is that Kynum can be earned even by inconveniencing somebody.
I've encountered many individuals.
Sounds like
That's
a Seneca move.
So I've got some interesting stories tucked away for her to tell.
Oh, so that makes more sense. So you can have both. You can have Valor and Kynum.
Yeah, eventually you balance out to 0, though.
Yeah.
How's Rand? Does she wake up okay and all that?
She's okay. She's in the tavern eating, but she's eating at a quick pace because she does want to get back on patrol again.
Okay, so when she wakes up or comes to, or when I reattach her arm, we don't have any sort of conversation.
It's not so much a reattachment of her arm. It was broken in several places.
So, but same difference. We're not going to discuss anything. Just I'm going to heal her and she's going to walk away.
You're a powerful woman. You can stop her.
Okay, bye. Lovely to see you. I guess.
Yes, thank you. And she's
It's
going
that
to walk.
charisma kicking in.
Yeah.
No, that's a -3 right
Dead
there. Go fuck
silence the
yourself.
entire
I got stuff
time.
to do.
Yep.
She's
Brienne playing her character to a T.
she's not really in the talkative mood. 4 people just got kidnapped. She's reliving some trauma right now, some recent trauma.
Shell shocked. But she seems to be at least stabilized for now. She's gonna be telling this to Crow and EO and basically anybody else of the party who's standing around. But she's here. So yeah, get her drunk, I guess.
Actually,
But she should have some of this this drink. It's supposed to be good for healing. It's awful though. I wouldn't, but it's good for.
Well, mistress, you know that medicine almost never tastes good.
Drink.
It's well known that those things that are good for you almost never taste good.
That's true. That's true.
As Brienne's leaving, Seneca will actually come in, and she'll see what Crow's drinking. Hear the conversation. It'll heal you all right. Might not feel too great in the morning, but you'll feel good right now. Is
It's
that the
really
strongest
gross.
stuff you got? He'll
No,
ask
we got
her.
other stuff. What do you want, Syndica? What's your drink?
Just give me the strongest shit you have.
Oh, that's what Crow drinking.
Oh, a shame.
Would you like another
should
bottle of the mountain's mead?
She'll take a drink. She'll take whatever the strongest is, and she'll take a drink of it. She'll kind of make a face. Oh, this is the strongest you've got.
It's not really good.
Well, yeah. Who makes the strongest stuff where you come from? Because dwarves make the strongest stuff.
Obviously, dwarves make the strongest stuff, but where I
Okay,
come from,
good
it's
to
not
know that
stronger
never
than this.
changes.
My dad used to brew the meanest whiskey on the coast.
The coast of what?
Everston? The oh gosh, I don't
Oh,
even know.
right. I keep forgetting that. Where are you from?
I don't know if you would even know the village where I'm from. It got wiped off the map years before this whole mess even happened.
That's true. Sorry about that. How you feeling? That's still kind of recent news to you, isn't it?
Oh no, my village has been gone for quite a while.
Oh, like so it was gone before you even came here?
It was gone before I even before this whole storm happened. I'm like decades beforehand.
Oh. Well, how you doing with the whole time travel thing?
Suppose it's not so different. However, I keep looking up at the sky and hoping I'll see the moon again.
Oh. Huh. I never
quite
thought
got
about
used
what
to
it
it
looked
after it
like. I
happened.
mean, it's just like, that's what it looks like for me, but it looked different for you.
Oh, much different. It was an entire. How much is left of the moon?
I mean, there's a small kind of crescent moon left up in the sky, but a large majority of it has kind of scattered into a sort of ring around the planet.
Hmm.
Do we have like a name for the ring?
That's a great idea that I didn't think of.
Empire's Fall.
Orcs have name for ring, but I'll let you come up with it.
Well, is the orc name translated into English? Is there like an orc language that you say it in, but it like in English means X?
Weirdly enough, Bantu speaks the orc word for it, and Shikari is able to give the rough translation for this word and comes out to a phrase that Seneca has heard before. This term, this language by the use of Chronos by some overseas dialects.
She'll hear it and she'll be, oh, that's a good name for it.
This ring, like it's always been there.
Bloody hell.
But the moon used to be a giant orb in the sky, and it went through phases. When it was full, it would if you were in a good enough place for it, the landscape would almost be as bright as day.
Full of what?
Light. Oh gosh. Was common astronomy a thing, Ryan? I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Feel free to take as many liberties as you'd like.
okay.
We know the world round.
Gosh, I didn't even think if you guys knew of astronomy. The moon, when the sun sets, the moon reflects the light off of it, or it used to. I don't know if it still does.
Well, you can see the moon. It's still there. There's just not much of it.
It's just kind of a dimmer glow that gets reflected off the debris that is the ring field around. So, like, nights are darker now.
Oh, canonical reason why my dark vision got better in 5th edition. Or in the 5.5.
Yeah, obviously.
Seneca is very surprised that she can see rather well.
In my library with pictures that sort of depict like the changing like difference between the sunsets that's recorded before versus now, or like pictures and stuff. Can I have a book that says so?
Let me do 100.
Ooh, that's fun.
Huh.
Actually,
so you don't like? I mean, like, it must be crazy experience, right? Like, one minute you there, the next minute you here, and we're doing pixie shit and goblins attacking, and what's that like?
It's I don't know if I can explain it in a fathomable way, but it wasn't just a minute. Well, obviously not. It was 100 years, but it felt like I was there for eternity. Like I was there before and after and now.
You were where?
In this, I don't know. This storm, the magic.
We call it the terror.
The terror. That's fitting. It was rather terrifying. I wasn't sure if I existed or not, or if I ever did exist. If I was but a concept of somebody else's mind in the grand scheme of things.
That's... Okay, pardon me, but that's awesome and terrifying at the same time.
It was. It was very fascinating. I don't think I would ever be able to fully describe the feeling of it, nor would I ever suggest anyone do it.
I mean, honestly, I feel like you did a great job. Like, it's like a contradiction.
It's everything and nothing that ever existed all at once. Is how I would.
So it's like everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yes.
Huh. Well, thanks for telling me. Here's another drink. Do you want some stew? You look pretty fucked up.
I feel pretty fucked up.
Well, take a rest, celebrate victory, and then we'll get to work.
Oh, I've already
Is
been
Rachel
at
doing
work.
language exercises in the background?
What do you mean you already been at work? You already went out and fixed things?
Well, sure. I fixed some locks. I fixed part of the wall. I fixed part of the gates.
Oh, hey, Shikari!
Wait, what happened? I missed it.
Seneca already fixed part of the gate.
you're organizing people to go do.
She says part of the gate, but she fully spent like a good chunk of time fully fixing the gate.
It'd be the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Okay, so who did this? Sorry.
Seneca.
Seneca! Oh my god, you did all that?
I used to be an architect.
A
Or I
what?
suppose a stonemason would be more apt.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what? You
Hence
know
the name
what?
Stonebender.
Because you did it, I'm going to let you put the check mark next to repair front gate. And she's going to hand her the quill.
Damn, that high honor.
Put that on a resume.
She never let me fix that quill. Jeepers.
And she's gonna like point her finger at the item line, which is number 1 on her list: fix front gate.
She'll put the check mark there, and she'll say, "You would have loved to meet Maribel Goldfinch."
I've read her book, and frankly, I really appreciate her system for categorization, and not only categorization, she has a really ingenious way of sub-categorization based off of ideas, not necessarily the Dewey. We'll have to discuss, but anyway, she's fascinating. I think I'm so glad you're here. I hope you borrow from our friend Jostrev. He's got a book by Maribel that I've given to him that you would probably enjoy reading. It's just, you know, a life under the Empire sort of thing, but I think you'd like it.
I'm not sure. I'll definitely give it a shot. I can't say that I'll like it though, because my life under the Empire was much different than hers.
That's fair. I've heard differing reports as to the, different ideas behind whether the regime was entirely for the benefit of all. It'd be interesting to hear some dissenting opinions. So much of what's left is very much pro-Empire, I think, because it was mostly protected. But a lot of the narratives, especially the ones leading up to what actually happened, are lost. So I'm so curious to pick your brain one of these nights.
Go ahead and ask some questions now if you want.
Oh my god. Okay. I take out like a whole sheaf of notes.
Oh gosh.
Would it be better if I put them in an email?
What have you done?
And she's just gonna say, have you gotten a start on that journal I asked you about your last days with Empire and recording some of your memories?
I've been writing it every night. I can't wait for you to read it.
What if we start there? Obviously keep adding to it, but why don't I take your first few pages or few 100 pages, and I'll read them at night, and I can let you know if I think. That would be great. Yeah, and the cool thing about the notebook I gave you is it has this like binding where every few 2 dozen pages, if you untie the string at the bottom, those particular pages will just pull straight out of the book because they're sewn in every 20 pages or so. So actually every book, anyway, it doesn't matter. This is how you pull them out. So I'll just go ahead and take the ones you're ready to part with if they're done.
Sure.
She's gonna like pull out like the first like chunk of pages and leave you with like, the last 3 pages or so that you'd written, and then like let you keep going with the rest. And she's gonna take the rest out, and she's going to look at you with big, wide, worshipping, thankful eyes and say, I am so excited to read this. Not only that, I'm going to go ahead and make copies if that's all right. And I cannot wait to show them to the people at the library. They're going to be tickled.
I'm sure they will. And she has a bit of a smirk on her face because her views of the Empire are very contradictory. So I'm sure they've read it.
Right.
And Shikari's just really excited to have all this homework, so. But yes, don't let me keep you. Go enjoy, and I'll dig into this tonight, and then we'll be on the same page when we talk next. Literally! Oh my god, we'll be literally on the same page! I didn't even mean to do that!
Shikari's having her own party.
And with that, we've successfully accomplished a short rest.
Yay!
Needed that.
We're thank God.
Feel free
So,
to spend as many hit dice as you would like to regain hit points.
So now that people are here, why do we think that they kidnap people instead of kill people?
Maybe for the entire enjoyment of it, enslavement, a prize. I don't really know. Maybe they're going
Are you
to
okay, Ria?
I'd it is fine. And Rian's going to continue to play with her food. Well, play with her second bowl.
That's so
He's fine.
bad.
She'll probably be okay. But,
Thank
goblins,
you. Love it. I'm not being sarcastic. I love it.
me theory is that goblins take people to turn them into something, like they were kidnapping boars.
What?
So remember how they were hunting the boars, taking them alive, and then feeding them like troll's blood or something like that to make them go crazy?
Is it something? I mean, they're not boars.
No, they're people, so they'll turn them into something worse.
That could happen to people.
Well, sure, like demon stuff. Come on, I can't be the only person who's ever met a demon.
I had an ex-boyfriend once.
Nice.
Was he like from the lower planes?
That's where I put him.
Suddenly very grateful for our amicable breakup.
Bree doesn't suffer a fool.
But do you pity the fool?
You know, I do, because he's missing out on a wonderful, wonderful relationship. He had to just be an ass. So I had to put him out to pasture.
Anyways, EO, what do you think? Why would somebody get captured instead of, killed? Why are they not killing people?
Bantu, you address your group of gathered party members, and EO's not there.
You missed him again.
Oh. He must have left when Crow fell asleep.
Here.
I would say experimentation is one, Bantu, another is intelligence. Stealing people.
That's what Shikari thought.
Yeah. Also, a reversal of roles, manual labor.
Oh, slaves is a good point. We didn't think of slaves.
And if it's Godrod, he wants people to worship him, and he will put people low if he can, especially the tall folk. It could just be a sadistic thing. It might not be anything other than pride or something of that nature.
I mean, that would be best case scenario.
Yeah, because they'll be alive.
Yeah. And if they hurt, like that one thing, if they turn into demon, that's totally another.
Yeah.
Rian looks to be getting paler throughout this conversation.
Okay, I might be wrong. Rian, are you okay?
It is just hitting a little bit close to home, with people being taken. It is not a comfortable subject. My people have been through periods of enslavement before, so it is not a happy subject to be discussing. And then with current history, it is definitely a sore subject.
I'm sorry to hear that. That must be rough.
It is.
I also would like to apologize because I made that call, Rian, and I didn't know how you felt about the situation and what you went through in the past, but I didn't want to lose anybody else today. So I do apologize for that.
And I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but did it involve goblins?
No, it
Okay.
didn't. It
I think it was
didn't.
just the taking of people, right?
It is just the involvement of taking the people. Yes.
Real pat your farm. I understand. We will do everything that we can to save them. Yeah, we will.
Yes. Hmm? I personally thought that, I was a bit stronger, and then I wasn't. So it is.
I got knocked on my ass.
Are you
so
sure?
I wish I was a
Because
little stronger too.
Before Crow passed out, she told me that you full on speared a bugbear through the chest.
Yes, and I might have. I did. It was nice, to do that, but I just wasn't fast enough. And what if I hadn't done this and I was a bit
Rian, you
faster?
don't understand. No one died. Well, a few people got taken, but we can get them back.
And a few people got taken, and we don't.
But then we can get them back.
We could get them back. Yes, we could.
That means no one died, which means you did a really good job. Cheers.
I think we need to get Rian another trident. Dual wielding tridents from the back of a horse is a mean image.
How the fuck are you supposed to do that? Bantu's like moving his arms around trying to do it.
I don't know. It sounded good in my head.
I wish I could tell you. It is. Maybe I should go on patrol. It'd be much useful up there to go on patrol.
No, you should probably get some rest.
It is fine. It is fine. I know somewhat how to take a little short rest on horses, so it is fine.
I mean,
it is fine. I'm Ayashtari. I can do this. When I get too tired, I'll come in. This conversation is a bit uncomfortable for me. So, yes.
Okay. Well, be safe. Don't.
Right. Yes.
No midnight fishing, yeah.
No. It is fine. I'm going to go over to the rampart. I'll be back. I'm sorry. I know that I don't contribute a lot to these discussions. Yes.
Sweetheart, you're fine. Why don't you just go get some fresh air? Maybe the night sky will help clear some things up for you.
Right. Yes. Mm-hmm. And Rian is going to exit and take position right here. Sorry, guys.
It got real dark real quick when she left.
She
was the light of the party, and she kind of let down, didn't she?
Definitely roll a nat 1, so a -2.
You're doing a -3 so much justice, Rachel. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Do you know that song, Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone?
Oh, I do know that one. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone away from me. That's a good one. Yastrev loved that one.
Is the whole party kind of here in the room in the tavern, or like Brienne just left, right?
Everybody but Eo and Rienne just left.
I think I
And
told
Crow is
Yas
asleep.
into bed because he said he was falling asleep.
Oh, that too.
Oh, okay.
So
I see.
it's me, Bree, Seneca.
Crow's passed out.
Crow there. She right there. You know, she's all fluffed up there in the corner.
Hey, quartermaster.
No, that's she princess. Corner princess.
Corner princess.
All right. I'm going to go get one last report from the guards. Make sure the rotation's on, even though people have died today. Oh no, wait. We lost no one.
No one died.
I'm just gonna do some last minute checks. Make sure everyone's all right. Anyone who needs healing, who hasn't asked for it, make sure they've got it, and make sure the rotation's going all right. Should we send out a patrol, or anything of the sort?
Yeah,
don't
I mean,
know.
probably.
Any scouts of the sort? Yeah, I'll send out one scouting party, and hopefully they'll be back by morning.
Yeah, if you check in with Jasper, I think he was literally about to do that before the goblins attacked.
Oh, Jasper's the man. All right, he's on it. But yes, I'll do one last circle of the village and make sure everything's to rights, and then go. I'm gonna go sleep with Kobak in his stables. I know that sounds weird, but frankly, I miss him, and we're great snuggle buddies, and I want to make sure he's all right. But I'm so glad we all made it through the day. You were all very brave. I didn't see it all, but from the stories I've heard, and she's gonna sheaf through her notebook of papers and all the notes she's taken from the stories everyone brought back. It was quite a fight, and if they come back, they have something to contend with, for sure.
Oktar Ogar Shikari.
Means
Oh, it means, like, victory or death. But it's like a battle cry, I guess. You know how you can sometimes say things, like one thing can mean two things? Kind of like that.
I'll have you write it down for me and spell it out and explain the origins of the words and everything, but we'll do that on another night. How about that?
Go to the World of Warcraft wiki real quick.
And with that, Shikari's gonna say good night and go out and do one last round of the town and make sure everything's good.
And you find everybody finds that wherever you're traveling throughout town, you are getting nods of recognition, like pats on the back, like people are coming up and shaking your hand and giving you praise. Some people are just leaving a loaf of bread in your hand. Other people are walking by just handing off a cooked potato. People are happy to offer up what they have. It's not much, but they're very grateful that nobody died, and that's way better than any other of the goblin skirmishes that have happened so far. So that's spectacular.
Awesome. Shikari's going to, because she's a teenager and she's always hungry, eat the cooked potato, but save everything else to share with her friends. If a villager happens to have a spot of butter and salt to part with, she will accept it gladly.
Then should the camera pan over to what Eo's doing?
I mean, if it wants to.
Sure. What's going on with EO?
So EO has gone out. He's, he has stayed invisible, and he wants to like look around town and make sure there's nothing else hiding anywhere. I mean, he's not doing like an extremely thorough job. He's not inspecting like every single house and all that, but he's trying to sneak around the village and make sure there's no other creatures hiding anywhere. And then, assuming he doesn't see anything, which...
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. That is going to be a total of a 10.
I mean, you're never absolutely positive, and that's probably the most unsettling part of it all, is just how quiet those bugbears were with their spiders sneaking over. Like, even the ones that you were watching as the spiders were sneaking over the wall, you couldn't hear them stepping across it, despite how large those beasts were. It's disturbing.
Yep, it is definitely disturbing. But he doesn't see any creatures actively, in town, in the trees.
Anything else hostile or otherwise. Like, there's townspeople walking up and down. You get the same sort of praise and greeting.
No, he's invisible.
No, you don't. People are a little bit abuzz. Like, as the news starts to spread that, like, a couple of people were kidnapped, but nobody died in the goblin assault. Like, people are starting to think, like, I don't know, maybe they were right. Like, we did what they said. We checked a few things off the list. We got the wall built, and that made a significant difference. Like, nobody died. A couple of people got taken away, but kidnapped is not dead.
And when he
Hopes
gets
are
to
high
the
in Westvale.
when he gets to the gate, is it like fully locked and closed?
It's been rebuilt and fashioned even better than it used to be. Closed, locked off, and like barricaded.
Okay, then he's going to climb out over the wall where all the goblins were killed.
All right.
And there's no bodies left, right?
No.
But is the ground still like blood soaked or anything like that?
Yeah, there's like evidence of combat here. Some people have gone through and cleaned up some of the areas. The pits have been covered again. Reconcealed, I guess is a better way of phrasing that. Reconcealed, not recovered.
He wants to try to gather up any remaining bits, any evidence, anything that was carried by or part of a goblin who was killed here, or any of the bugs that were killed here.
You start scooping up some of the odd bits and bobs.
Including like blood-soaked ground, like any dirt that has been clearly blood-soaked.
An entirely severed goblin arm that is on one of these barricades here that is continuing to writhe and wriggle but it's stuck in the barricade, kind of pinned there in a way that
we'll definitely recover that.
To loosen itself. Wonderful.
And then he's going to move far enough out with that stuff that he's confident he couldn't be seen, and he's going to like hide behind like these rocks or something so that the people in the town can't see anything. And he's going to like pile all that stuff up in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to take his dagger and start cutting some sigils in the ground around the pile. And he's going to summon this dark black purple flame and burn it all. And like stare into the smoke as it comes up.
Lovely. The smoke and the flame starts to burn a little bit. And as it does, sorry, I have a name somewhere. The flames billow up, and for a moment, take the shape of like it's not humanoid, but it's not like obviously a face either. The flames take a moment before they continue to burn in a consistent pattern that looks to open up into a sort of toothy maw of a grin and the couple of wicked slits for eyes. It takes you a few moments before you recognize that in those purplish black flames there is a face there. And it seems to be watching you, smiling at you, looking toward you almost hungrily as the flames continue to burn through these items, as that hand continues to writhe and burns out.
Hot.
And you hear him under his breath saying, "What do you want? Isn't what you're getting enough? Can you not leave me alone? Leave her alone." And then the camera cuts away.
Our breakup was dark jeepers.
And how do you guys find yourselves the following morning?
I make sure I have plenty of water and things to help Crow feel better. And I made sure she got moved like to an actual bed.
Oh, I was gonna say she definitely fell off the chair and is on the floor underneath it. But Io takes good care of her.
Yas is gonna wake up. Sorry.
No, that was a good question, Amanda. Was that a long rest then, is what we hear?
Yes, that is a long rest.
My word.
Okay, yeah, sorry, now it's your turn.
Yas is gonna head to the blacksmith shop.
Right.
And he's gonna ransack it for anything to help. Because we got people to rescue.
Looking for any supplies in particular?
Honestly, he'd like to keep an eye out for maybe just some better armor, but any supplies, maybe a hidden chest in the back that's locked. He's gonna ransack it at this point.
That's right. We got people to help and blacksmiths to kill.
Knowing where he was would just be awesome right now.
An investigation check.
Third.
But when we see him at the goblin camp, we kill him.
Especially if he's wearing goblin colors.
I don't know why I rolled at advantage. I'm sorry.
Because you're taking your time.
I mean, there's a wide variety of common weapons here. A loose scattering of some arms, like armor, like gauntlets, knee pads, shin guards, shoulder pads, chest plates, but nothing of a better quality than you're probably already suited with.
Any clues to where he would have gone?
With a 4, it's hard to say for sure.
The sleuth.
But I mean, you're going back to that moment that you grabbed a hold of him, and like his arm that you grabbed didn't match what you saw, and like it felt almost furry or like a scratchier, rougher, coarser fur. The hand that you felt had like a clawed fingernail at the end of it. Like, what was that illusion hiding?
Maybe a bugbear?
Or the blacksmith.
I'm going to try to second wind off this investigation roll to add a d10 to see if I can have a light bulb moment, because I ain't.
Nope.
No light bulb moment.
No.
Well, the good thing
You
is
got hit
you
really
don't use
hard
the
in the
resource.
head.
Who is Boar the blacksmith? What is Boar the blacksmith? You know, when
Why
is Boar
is
the
Boar the blacksmith?
Where the fuck is both the blacksmith?
I'll do you one better. Why is Boar the blacksmith?
When Boar the blacksmith?
How is Boar blacksmith?
How is he doing?
Oh, well, how? He takes the iron and sticks it in the fire, gets it really hot, and then hits it with a hammer.
Bantu is going to report to Shikari and ask her what things on her checklist need doing. Something need doing?
And as Bantu heads over, Io's going to follow him.
Oh, hey, Io. Where'd you go last night?
Oh, well, I wanted to get back out there and patrol. I wasn't as tired as I know some of you were, so...
Yeah, you didn't look like you got a single scratch in that fight.
No, I was lucky that way. I did a lot of running around town trying to find Crow and find someone to help.
Hey, I mean, you must be some kind of badass to not get touched in a fight.
Well, I never got that close to any of the actual enemies.
Doesn't make my statement any less true.
But Shikari, I wanted to tell you this last night. I didn't get the chance. I owe you a great debt. I don't know how I could repay you or Rien or Yas. I don't know what would have happened if anything had happened to Crow. So thank you. If there's anything I can do, anything you need, you just let me know. I don't have great skills, but if you need a tea or your bed made or me to carry anything, I'd be happy to.
Well, that actually brings to mind. I was recently asked by Bree to start giving some tutoring lessons, and frankly, it's one of the tenets of my order is to share knowledge, and I'd really like to be starting to do more of that. And with all the fighting and the commotion and the strife, it's been really hard to focus on just teaching and sharing knowledge, and that's such a key part of being a librarian. So would you mind just if there's anything you want to learn or something maybe we could read together about or anything along those lines, would you be willing to maybe not be a student but maybe learn something new with me, or sit down and maybe we could even just start a book club or something, read the same book. I have a few in here on style, serving, and etiquette, but I also have some more adventures if you'd like to start exploring some fiction and maybe, have a space for your imagination to run wild, given that, your day-to-day is very practical and you spend so much of your time caring for someone else. Maybe you can, escape into an imagination or something like that. It could be fun. Anything you might want to learn. I would love to sit down with you and try and think of something that we might study together. Would you be open to that? Something along those lines?
I could repay you saving Crow's life by learning from you. That hardly seems like something I would be doing for you, but if that is what you wish, of course.
I hope you know you would be filling my cup tremendously. And she's like sort of like vibrating with excitement, and her tiny little kobold fists with their claws are like kind of clenched, but she's also trying to to be chill, but she's also sort of like just shaking with excitement of like, let me
Tail
teach
is
you something.
wagging uncontrollably behind her.
I wouldn't say her tail is wagging. I would say her tail is actually very, very still and pointed upright. It's just standing behind her, and like it's almost like radar. She's ready to feel the pulse of the moment, and she's like, is he like responding well to any of these suggestions? Languages are no, not that one. I'm waiting for the one that he's gonna like.
Well, the mistress's family was kind enough to give me the rudiments of an education. I was a farmer. I had not learned all that much before I came to them, but I've always been fascinated by history. You said you had tales of how things used to be.
Love to discuss history with you. And actually, I've been having similar conversations with Sinica about perhaps some things that she might want to sit down and communicate about. And given that she's basically a historian but she was there and she's here in the flesh, it's kind of miraculous. So we've been talking about history, and I think the three of us could sit down and have some fun conversations about life and the way things were and what they could be and different forms of governance. That could be fascinating, especially coming from where you come from, which sounds more imperial.
That would be wonderful, and I would not want to impose on you any further, but the mistress has had to step away from her studies, and well, she was just beginning proper etiquette for a noble, and was beginning to work some on her languages. Would you be able to assist her with that? I'm not much good at trying to teach her.
She's gonna like sort of squeeze her eyes shut and like shake really hard for a second, and then she's gonna like be cool, you're good, and then she's gonna say, I think I could help with that. Yes. I think that's something I have a few books on. I could probably share some knowledge on that front. Whenever you're free, just maybe every night for about, 3 hours for the next 6 months. Good? We'll just pencil that in.
As my duties allow.
Excellent. Okay, well, I'll start organizing some lessons and some readings. And remember, you're doing this for me. It's a gift. It really is. I'm so excited to do this. So, And if your mistress ever wants to come to a lesson or chat about things, I'm more than happy to accommodate both of you in the lesson.
Well, thank you. That is most kind of you.
Hey, do you think we should leave today to go try to rescue those people?
Have the scouts come back with any reports, Ryan?
Going around talking to Jasper, the scouts report back that the goblins look like they are making their way southward to join up with whatever group is gathering there. It seems as though they took off with a couple of prisoners that they did, and either intending to keep them alive or intending to interrogate them elsewhere. They are, as far as the reports go, they continued to move through the night with the prisoners heading south along the river. Into the canyon.
Okay. So one of the things Shikari would have done that morning is wake up with Kobak, hang out with him a little bit, feed him, make sure he's cool. Then she would have tried and do some rounds before she met up with EO whenever he caught her, perhaps walking around the town at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So she would have hopefully have gotten that knowledge, and then after meeting up with EO, walk back to the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where everybody is?
Probably just now be coming downstairs.
And Io and Bantu were walking with each other.
Yeah, I was walking with Bantu to go find you.
Oh, okay, so we were all together. Okay, cool. So I told you that, and then, so I'll have basically said what Ryan said. Let's go back to the tavern and make sure we can, get together with everybody and see what they think. should we bring the captain of the guard to be part of the conversation in case he wants? He can tell us, what sort of resources he can bring.
Well, I mean, these people don't have really much, and they need it here.
I understand, but it would be good to have his report there for the conversation as to whether, he can tell us for sure, and we can see the look in his eyes when he says, yes, go off on an expedition, we don't need you here. And if that's not the truth, we'll be able to see it in his face. It's always better to ask someone a question in person.
Huh. Okay.
So, who knows him? Does Bantu know him well?
You guys have all run across him at some point or another in your defense, building up the defenses of the town.
Yeah, he had a name. I don't remember it. I don't see him on the map.
Clifton.
It was Clifton, obviously.
Clifton.
I'll scribble down a note.
Guardsman.
Meet at the tavern discussing strategy, and I'll hand it off to like a little kid passing. This is for Clifton. Please come report. Send it with haste. And then she's gonna take out a penny and give him a penny.
All right, miss, you got it.
And send him a note and have them meet at the tavern.
Does that work where you come from?
What? Paying someone to send a message? Absolutely. Does it not work for you?
No, man, they just take your money and laugh at you.
I think
Aren't you sure they wouldn't laugh at you? You'd kill them.
Well,
also
I mean,
that.
that's why I'm just saying, like, that's why I'm amazed this work. Where'd she come from? No one ever tried that in the Horde.
Partially working off of goodwill here, but also that's kind of how message sending worked in the library. And, this is a walled-off town. I guess I felt a little bit like I was at home. But you're right. The Wasteland is no place to send someone off with a penny, hoping they'll provide for your errand. I've heard warnings to the effect. You're not wrong. And they'll go back to the tavern.
So you guys run into Yastrev. You notice he's not wearing the same getup anymore. He's wearing a bit quieter but sleeker looking suit of leather armor.
Where'd you get
Doesn't
that?
look to be nearly as battle scarred. Pretty freshly made, newly minted.
Yes, where'd you? Oh,
Blacksmith shop. It's pretty much free game. And
oh, I forgot about Boar.
I don't know. I tried to find clues, but I'm not the best detective.
Feels like we should go south. You feel like going and rescuing people, Yas?
That's why I'm wearing this. A little bit quieter, maybe a stealthier option.
Where's Rien? Does she make it back in?
I've been here the entire time.
Oh, shit.
Jesus Christ.
Are you feeling better?
Not really, but going out and rescuing the people, it does. Sorry, I have a crick in the neck. I spent.
Can Bantu be like sweet in Atlantis and just like pick you up and crack your neck?
Oh, you should ask for consent.
Nah, just go and do it. Love it.
Oh,
goodness.
Oh, I can help with this. I got you.
Oh God.
Never
I hope
do.
that was her neck.
Never do that.
That is actually better. Thank you. I spent the night in the tower over there. So I didn't get too much, but I had P.S.A. to give me company.
Well, I hope you didn't drink any of the healing stuff that Bontu gave out last night, because I'm not quite sure it was a healing thing. I feel my head hurts. I got stabbed in the chest. My head hurts worse than my chest did.
I believe that it is.
when he said healing, in this case, he meant it ironically, which is often a way for people to say something when they mean the exact opposite. It is often conveyed by tone.
Well, I mean, you got a good night's sleep, right?
I don't really remember.
Then
I
it
believe
worked.
that's what
You're
this is.
healed.
Mistress, that is what you most needed, was a good night's rest.
I believe
Now-
what it was might have been alcohol or a strong ale. I tend, or at least, the people in my village tend not to drink something like that when we have stuff to do. I'm not judging you. That is why I didn't have some last night.
It wasn't good. I'm not sure why people would drink that for, but that's what wine is for. This stuff, I'm not sure what it did, but it hurts now. But you said, wait, we're going south? I thought we were gonna break up the town and just be happy here because we survived, and we could just stay here and make sure that we're safe.
Well, mistress, the very first thing we're going to do is going to take you back to the inn. We're going to get you a nice tea, some breakfast, and then we're going to discuss commencing your lessons while we travel.
My lessons? Well, I thought we left those back at home.
Yes. Well, I know it's your parents' dearest wish that you continue your studies. And, well, it turns out the Shikari has quite the library.
Even
Did someone name and also library? Hi. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to read with you and talk with you and learn with you. This is going to be so exciting.
Can you run a little lower? Because my head still hurts really bad. But
are you not feeling all right? And she's gonna step forward and she's gonna take your hand and she's gonna put her. She's gonna say, come. Could you lean down a bit? And if you will, lean down close enough for her to touch her fingers to your temple.
She will listen.
She's gonna place a cooling hand there, and if I can just do this with a medicine check, but I'm willing to expend a spell slot just because. I just want to
what? To touch her temple? That's a
to
free.
do a cooling hand and massage her head a little bit to dispel her hangover by touching various pressure points that are just so.
Do you have lesser restoration?
Trying to see how much I can get for a medicine
I can
check.
tell you right now, those hands don't need magic to cast lesser restoration. Pontu.
A 13?
It feels nice while she's rubbing it, but whenever she stops, you notice that she stopped, and then it kind of feels like it's throbbing again.
I'm going to go to.
If you could just do that all day, I think that would really, really help. I could just sit up over here, and perhaps we could.
Right.
I mean, we could just sit here in the inn, and maybe we could venture south tomorrow.
No. We're not venturing south tomorrow. We're doing it today. We get our
I'm kind of with
we
Brienne.
venture out.
Time is of the essence.
Okay. It was just a suggestion. It was just I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, we need to go now. Are we prepared? Do we need to do anything? How long do we need? Maybe an hour.
I don't even think I've packed anything. Have you packed anything?
Yes, mistress, I took care of the packing this morning.
Minutes into this meeting.
Okay. As Clifton enters, Shikari's going to say, Clifton, I'm so glad you're here. We were just discussing whether we could afford a raid to the south to try and either get back some of the people we've lost or potentially attack some of the goblins on the way. What do you think?
I don't think that we can afford a reckless move to meet the goblins in their own territory. I think that our best efforts are kept here at home, keeping as many people inside of the walls as we can, as long as we can, continuing to fortify what we've got here and build upon what we can. We can work on some more fighting maneuvers and training some of these people up at some of the basics, like where to hold a shield.
All right, so she's taking notes of the meeting like a good office secretary would. Elected secretary would, and she is writing down. All right, Clifton, Guard Clifton, shoring up defenses and training and provisions here at home. Exploratory raid. All right. Anybody? Any other thoughts? Any other opinions? And she's gonna hold up her parchment with her pen, ready for other thoughts.
I think Clifton's a coward, and we're going anyway.
Yes, it is a cowardly. 4 people from your village have been taken, and you want to lick your wounds. It is fine, maybe for a day, or maybe 2, but to lose them, it is a betrayal. You should not just wait here and expect them to attack. They're lost out there. They have grown up with you, and you're giving up on them as if they are dead. They're not dead. We should be able to meet them on there, rescue them, and hopefully remove the scourge.
No.
Tell them that it is not okay to take people from your home and to never be seen again. It is inviting more trouble.
Shikari is taking all of this down, and then to add to the discussion, she's going to say, I'd like to note that the names of those taken were, and she's going to list out the actual people
they are still alive. Not were.
And I don't know if any of their people, their friends or relatives, are in the bar actively in those moments while she calls out the names, but if any of them decide to come forward, that would be nice. And she's just going to list out, these are the people who are actually missing. I do know, I think there's also a case to be made. Rianne, thank you so much for your thoughts. That these people did volunteer for their jobs. I think what we need to consider is how they'll be tortured for information and what they might be turned into, knowing there is a science at play here for adulterating creatures. So I'll also write those down just as the points that I just made for the room. Take that line down. Anybody else?
Rianne's
If I may. I believe that us moving forward and rescuing the people is a good plan. Second thought, we need information. Us just staying here and gathering strength isn't going to do any well if it's just wave after wave after wave.
Agreed.
Especially when they're taking the citizens ourselves here and turning them against us. We're just eventually going to fall. We need to be proactive. I don't think we'll survive another siege.
I think we got lucky on this one.
All right. Taking those notes down. Those are good thoughts. Good thoughts.
Bree, you in?
So Bree's out.
Bree BRB.
Bree's in.
How many people are in the bar this morning after a giant party and things the night before? Lots of drunk people waking up in the super, or
were there efforts to make a gathering of people here this morning? Like, word was spread out?
As we were going through the town, we were asking for updates. We were
If you were asking for the town to gather here this morning, there's going to be
town meeting.
People. If you guys are just here, then
we're asking for people. I think that would have been a great decision too. As we were being like, "How are you doing? What do you need? What's going on?"
What a great retroactive
There's
decision.
About 30 people gathered here in the bar.
All right.
What was the main guard's name? Clifton.
The main guard is Clifton.
Clive.
Clifton Clive.
Shikari's gonna give the townspeople a brief update about what's being discussed. And she's going to say, we would like to go and set out an expedition, but this is your town and you get to decide. And like I said, if there are any family members who'd like to make the case, that's great. But we will be deciding in the next 15 minutes. So please let your grievances be known, and I will take note.
An elderly human woman steps forward and says, I don't think it's fair that all the guards should leave their posts here to go look for somebody else that got taken by bugbears. There's no need for us to all get out to risk our lives just because they've been taken elsewhere. Who's to say that they weren't eaten by those spiders already?
It wouldn't be all the guards, it would just be this party here. Your regular town's guards would stay exactly where they are. You wouldn't lose anything, except for these people who are strangers and have only been around your town for 3 days.
I noticed you didn't write down what I said.
I definitely wrote it down. Don't you dare corner me with a yes and prospects. I wrote it down.
All right, just making sure you wrote it in all caps.
What about Shikari makes you think she wouldn't have written it down, I ask you?
You didn't say it out loud.
As I write it down, I talk to her because I can fucking multitask.
She sits back down.
Well, why would he write something down that was so stupid?
Another point.
You need to stop having such good charisma because you should have terrible charisma. Stop it.
Oh, God.
It's okay. I think insulting people to their faces, pretty low charisma thing.
To the point, I believe also if we could manage to gain mounts for the party. I know certain party members already have some, but if anybody here would be willing to lend us some horses, we can make this even faster.
Well, how many? I've got a riding mare that I'm not making use of. And I've got a lame pony. He's a bit slower, but you can make use of him.
Any donations
more
would be
than that?
appreciated.
A lame pony? That's not going to do us any good, yes?
I could ride on that one.
On the other hand, I think that a pony might be exactly what would be good for me.
You have to remember, a lot of us are under 4 feet tall. It might help just so we move a little faster.
But 4 of us aren't. We need at least 4 regular-sized horses.
Can't
I've
two
got
people
Kurak.
ride on one horse?
I forgot about your guys' 2 mounts. We just need 1 regular-sized horse. We're good!
Go back and yeah, we've got options. We don't have to go on foot.
No, that's okay. So with your mounts aren't on this map, so I'm forgetting their names.
Torrent.
Torrent and Kobak. And we have. What did you name your horse, Rian? And do we know whose horse it was? Did you actually buy it from them?
I don't think you need to ask so many questions.
My
Are you
bad.
saying this out loud?
Yeah.
I said that to Shikari.
I mean, it's so bizarre. I went looking out in the stall for Iftia, and the stall was empty.
That's amazing.
It's like the horse is already gone. Maybe those bugbears took it.
Maybe. That must have been it. It must have gotten out. We'll look for it while we're out there. Okay, cool. So we have your mare. I can write that. And then we can double up smaller folks with bigger
The
folks.
pony you can make use of.
And we'll take the pony. All right. Appreciate you, townsfolk. Good luck. If any goblins come back while we're gone, I believe in you. You can do it.
Break.
The comment section closed. Thank you, townspeople, for gathering.
There's a remaining crowd. Hold on. Chance to speak. We want this hard. As a gathering of about 45 people start pressing up and surrounding Shikari at this point, all voicing their opinions at the same time.
She is going to sit there and say, "You all go along. I think I'll stay here and keep track of the town and take all these comments."
All right, you have 1 hour. Everyone form a line!
I'll only take comments from the person who is standing right in front of me here. And she's going to make a point in front of her.
Well, good, because I had a few more things I wanted to say.
You're done.
Lady's
Thank
day.
you, Beth.
As she is excused and escorted out from the tavern.
And I will
Can I-
take succinct notes in my own shorthand of each and every single person who wants to wage an opinion. And if they have any intelligence, I also want that. She's not like just discounting people. She actually wants to know, but she is trying to keep them cornered into a very, very, very specific realm of questions. So she's she's aggressively questioning, but she's also like taking note and listening to everything they have to say. So if anyone has a tip.
So to cut down on time, you guys end up with supplies for your trek, as well as all of the barding that you would need for these additional animals.
Okay. And I would like to also have maybe said something to the opponents. If I can do like a mass charisma check to the people who were like obviously opposed to us leaving, basically being like, you know, your neighbor, yeah, their daughter's missing. They bake your bread, kind of thing, to like remind them why they should think about it, why they should care.
Roll me a persuasion check.
To try and keep the rest of the town from freaking out. 17. I don't like that you repeated that. Okay. And so that's the best Shikari can do.
Okay. Wonderful. As you document a number of comments, some of them are useless and no good. Others are very strange and bizarre. You get a number of tall tales about all sorts of strange spottings of people spotting like Bigfoots out in the woods, aliens up in the skies, dragons over yonder mountains, goblins in this point of the woods.
Interesting.
How bizarre. How bizarre.
How bizarre.
Other people offering up foodstuffs, tack.
Anyone with tales on Boar the blacksmith?
A couple of people mentioned that they had seen him heading out of town the day before. One of them thought it was strange when he was causing a commotion with one of the smaller girls. They think it's one of the Pathfinder granddaughters or some such. One of the half giant folks, kids. You know the one.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I've met her once or twice, yes.
Anyways, he seemed to be tying her off at the front door of her own house, and she was putting up all sorts of a fuss about it. But he seemed intent that she was not going to be accompanying him, and he was going to making his way out of town for a few days.
Has he ever been erratic like this in the past?
I can't say I recall seeing him tying folk up before, but it's not uncommon for him to make his way out of town to make sure that a delivery comes through.
Nothing else unusual about his behavior aside from that.
I mean, it really looked like he was packing rather light for a long journey like that.
What do you mean?
All he had was kind of just what was on his person, a couple of sacks and not particularly enough supplies for several days of travel.
Not even weapons to be able to fight while you're, living off the land, that sort of thing.
Not even a mountain to ride upon.
I see. So, given how long he's been gone, what would you say about the likelihood that, given the provisions and the weapons he left with, he had sufficient to survive as long as he was gone, has been gone?
I mean, he seemed like an awful nice feller. I sure hope nothing's bad befalling the folk. But so long as he's a decent enough hunter, I'm sure he's fine.
All right. Yes, and I have every reason to expect he is. So thank you so much for your information.
Absolutely. Could I interest you in a lemon bar?
What is an 11 bar?
Lemon. It's a citrusy fruit. It's sort of like a cousin to an orange or a limon.
Could you interest me in it? Absolutely. May I ask the ingredients? Aside from lemon.
Delectable, let me tell you. It's a sort of family recipe. We've been going back generations, but you see, there's a surprising ingredient that you can get out of a horse's hooves that causes this sort of a gelatinous texture to it. Almost like a jello of sorts.
I am going to just really quickly do a deception check. I want to make sure they're not trying to get me to eat poison. Just real quick.
Why would you be doing a deception check then?
Well, not the deception. What's the reverse of that? A insight check.
Insight check?
Insight check. Yes, thank you. Are they trying to poison me, or are they not trying to poison me?
I think he's giving you gelatin.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna eat the Jello.
These are some delectable lemon squares.
Oh, lovely. Suspicious at all. And she's going to take all the notes she can and also write lemon squares, delicious.
Who on earth puts Jello in their lemon squares?
So,
They have dead horses available.
is Bree back? Is Bree in on the rescue plan?
Yep.
I'm just jealous. I just want to square. That sounds amazing right now.
Anyone got any actual good ideas on how to rescue these people?
I was thinking maybe of a stealthier option. Even if we couldn't rescue them, we could get information. I'd really like to rescue them, but we need to plan for both options.
I know rescue them is plan A, Rian, but yeah, a good idea.
EO
so-
will wait until everybody else is done and like the crowd's dispersed before he asks his questions.
So the tavern starts to filter out as the meeting sort of adjourns. Shikari starts taking the comments from everybody on one side of the room, and EO kind of filters the party over towards the other. Gets a little bit quieter on this end.
I hate to ask this, but it's been on my mind. Don't bugbears eat people?
Oh yeah, sometimes. You gotta do what you gotta do, right?
I was afraid of that. I just don't know that everyone understands that, and
Meeting at the tavern adjourned.
I think that, well, we may be best prepared for what we might find. It's not a reason not to go after them. We absolutely should go after them. In fact, it gives a certain urgency to it. But, well, I once heard this story. A group had traveled many, many leagues, set upon by bugbears, and 2 halflings were taken from them. They were chased night and day and night, across many leagues, always fearful that what they would come upon was simply their bones. And it was purely the infighting amongst the goblins and the bugbears that saved the poor halflings, but they were rescued in the end. We still have hope. And if there's no hope, there's at least vengeance.
Gotta go south to do both those things. Great speech, man. That was fantastic. But yeah, we won't abandon them. But, you know, it'd be good to see what Godrod's doing down there.
Okay. So I don't know, maybe to them read what?
Shikari wants to know what the town vote was for us to leave
Well,
or stay.
Yeah.
As always, I know we'll end up doing what Crow suggests, so Crow, what do you think we should do?
Crow's throwing up right now.
Shikari's going to come out of the tavern and say, well, I got a lot of mixed opinions here, but overall the town wants us to go and try and find the people, so the town supports us, and so I think that's for the best. We should do it.
Oh, hey, Crow, you're back.
And Sorry, that was it just really got to my head there for a second. I feel a little bit better now. I feel much lighter. But EO is really inspirational, and I think you're right. I think we have to hold on to the hope. And if there's no hope, then there's vengeance. And if there's anyone who's really good at vengeance, it's you. So yes, I will stand by your side and let us go south on the ponies.
All right. Well, as the clear and obvious leader of the group, we shall do what you say.
I mean, also the town supports us in doing so. So
Oh, that's excellent too. Of course.
happens to coincide. I wouldn't say we're gonna press save on this and touch on it later.
Even if they didn't agree with us, we are technically not a part of their village, and we could do what we want.
Well, that's true. We can always do what we want, but I thought it was better to have a democratic conversation about it and that sort of thing, considering it's their townspeople and it's their fight, really.
Democracy.
We're supporting their fight, are we not? I don't know guardsman so and so and milkmaid what's her what, but the people who spoke tonight in the tavern very passionately did, and this is about them ultimately, is it not? I just want to make sure this is driven by the people here in this town, and if they want us here to help them, I feel like I would want to stay if that's the democratic decision. But ultimately, they decided they wanted to save their loved ones, and I think that's noble as well, and I'm willing to do their bid.
Shikari, I mean, I believe what we are doing and what we are attempting to do is the right thing to do, which I think is probably the most important. And I mean, I don't really understand your obsession with this democracy thing. It's been shown time and time again to be, well, nothing but overrun by charlatans and demagogues. So,
I've mentioned it one time, but I do think that because we're talking about the townspeople, their town, that they should have some say in it. Don't you think so? Or
I think
should
they
we just
should
make?
I think they should absolutely help. I think
should we just make decisions arbitrarily for these people and leave them to their own device, leave them to defend themselves, even though we've already kind of... You haven't... I don't know if you've walked through the town and felt the appreciation that people have for us being here. I wouldn't want to abandon them or be seen to abandon them. I would want them to know why I'm leaving and to know that I have their goodwill when I go.
And I think
that's all I wanted to ensure.
I have walked the town. I have heard that how much they appreciate that we stood and fought with them. And again,
you know what that makes us?
I wouldn't want to be seen as abandoning them, and so that's
big
why
damn heroes.
That's why I involved them in this conversation, because I don't expect them to just be grateful for what we're willing to provide on our terms. I'd like them to feel part of this. Their buy-in, I would have you remember, is partly why this town is still standing. They are defending this town just as much as we are.
I agree
they got to do what we're gone.
I agree that we have helped them to preserve their town. But we are not subject to their whims. We may choose to do what we think is the right thing to do. And Shikari, I am confident that there will come a time where that right thing to do is to leave this place. And it will once again be upon these people to defend their town. I am not in any way implying that we should injure them, abandon them, or do ill by them.
Nor am I implying we should become their slaves indefinitely. So I think we both understand each other. I'm glad we have their goodwill, and it happens to coincide with our own view of what we should do. So perhaps we should leave this existential crisis for when we are actually at odds.
As you wish.
Sorry, out of character, what the hell are we discussing right now?
Actually, no idea.
We're talking about rescuing the townspeople, correct?
Getting
Yeah,
a
we're
reference.
basically debating
Yeah.
whether are
On
you
the
a
ref-
democratically sent hero or is being a hero thrust upon you?
I am just so excited for when Crow and Shikari have like very heated like conversations about democracy at night, and then all of a sudden they end up having sex. I'm just very excited for where this is going.
You're gonna
Yeah,
have to get Crow to agree to do studies first, though. That's gonna be more difficult than you realize.
That's a very high roll.
I'm just sticking up for Crow and her noble family and their obvious rights to do what they see fit to do, regardless of what some town might think.
Yeah,
We never ask.
What is the town voting?
I think
I
that
missed
probably knowing that you are doing something, even though you're an autocrat, that coincides with the will of your people is what would probably keep people like Crow from having to live as nameless princesses in the wasteland. Because I'm guessing if things were cool at home, she'd be there.
No, the only reason we even got on this tangent is because we had the yes and role play of all the townspeople airing their grievances.
And I thought it was and I still think it's valuable. Like, Shikari would want to know how the town thinks about its own defense. She wouldn't want us to be thinking that we're like, the demigods over this, small town that we just happened to stumble upon, that we have essentially goaded into being overrun by goblins. We bear a responsibility here, and part of that responsibility includes listening to the people whose lives are going to be directly affected by our decisions. So that's why that's what Shikari is thinking. She's read enough books about like war and the people who live there and all those different things that she's like thinking about all these different things, but at the same time she has no idea what this looks like in practice, which is why I love that Ryan made her listen to 30 people in a row. Because that is so Parks and Recreation, a town hall meeting run amok. Like, that's what I was imagining it as, and I was like, this is perfect, and this is exactly the can of worms Shikari would open because she's naive like Leslie Knope. This makes sense.
It was very Leslie Knope.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I feel like it played out the way like it makes sense, but I also think I appreciate the fight that like, yeah, we all have the free will and all that, but it's like, who are we working for? Who are we fighting for? If not working for, I don't know. It's worth asking. So that was great. That was great roleplay. Not to like break in and disrupt the game, but
Yeah, not to break in, but we gotta go. You've had your hour.
bye.
Well, lovely.
So, Bonchu's gonna sing a song for the montage. Making my way down south. Faces past and I'm homebound. I don't remember that second lyric. What's the second lyric?
Making my way downtown, walking fast.
Faces past and I'm homebound. Thank you, Ian. That was it. And I want you, and I miss you, and now I wonder. Anyways, that's the travel montage song.
I'm wondering why I
More
do
lyrics?
studies, Theo. What was that about?
Well, mistress, I wanted to express my thanks to Shikari and to Rien for their protection of you during the assault on the town. And Shikari has a very interesting take on thankfulness, and she would like nothing more than to
fish?
teach us.
That's way worse.
So I know how appreciative you are of what she did, and
Yeah.
I thought that, well, I mean, your parents did want you to continue your studies,
Yeah,
So-
they want a lot, which is great. But I just, I thought, since we're dying from goblins, that maybe studies wouldn't be first on
Well,
the. Who knew we'd run into a librarian?
But just think, you can do something to thank a person for something they have done for you, and you get to study, which your parents will appreciate. So, I think it's a win-win.
I think the fish would have been easier.
I don't believe that would have worked for her.
She doesn't like fish. Maybe we could still just make her some sort of meal, and
Mr. Sun, I'm afraid you may have to discuss that with her. I don't know that I can, for I am grateful to her, and this is what I feel I must do to repay her.
Okay, I trust you, Eo, and I would do anything that you led me to do because you've taken care of me so far. But it's just, what is it that we're studying? I mean, does it have to be the studies that I left behind? Do we pick right back up at that, or maybe we could find something else to study, something more
I suspect
exciting.
that you could ask her anything that you might be interested in. She seems to have a book about. So maybe just if you think something, I don't know, perhaps she has books on fashion.
Maybe I could read the book she has on Rian, and I can study Rian.
Yes, that might do it.
To teach me how to be a stalker. I mean, yeah, I'll think about it. But right now my head hurts really bad, so I probably shouldn't look into it too hard today. It might last until tomorrow. Honestly, it's feeling pretty intense. We'll see what the day after that brings.
That makes perfect sense, mistress. Would you like some water, or tea, perhaps?
That sounds really quite lovely. Well, since we're leaving, I won't make you set up the tea right away. But maybe when we get there, if we have a moment before we go into the whole
Actually,
goblin.
I think if you were to ride in the cart, I believe I could set up the tea set. It might be a little delicate, but I won't use the good cups.
That would be quite lovely.
I know we're not.
Do you think
this map has whole party with like all the mounts and ponies and horses, speaks and carts?
Can I please know the difference between the good cups and the bad cups? I can't leave this alone. My brain's gonna be scratching at it until you tell me.
You want to ask?
Well, there's like fine china, and then
Yeah,
there's
I have
not
some fine china that's very carefully wrapped in part of the stuff.
It's
and
in
then
special
there's
cases.
some just wooden and tin cups that we also have.
Yeah, like
Little campfirey ones that are like speckled for some reason with white, and they're like blue metallic kind of thing.
They're slightly chipped. They're slightly chipped crockery, so they have the white glazing on the outside. But
I love the kitschy stuff you get from like Tombstone, Arizona. All right, cool. This is perfect.
oh, never somewhere quite as gauche as Tombstone.
Oh gosh, okay.
Well, you've encouraged me to use my big words, so.
That might be the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. That's twice in one night. Wow.
Whoa. So as the party makes their preparations this morning, what's their game plan?
Ride fast, ride hard, rescue the villagers.
But not too
Front and
fast
center.
because my tea set will get knocked over.
So who's taking the pony?
I will be riding the pony next to the cart. And I guess because we've got the cart, the horse, Rien's on the horse, and the pony probably takes.
There was another
two,
horse. Isn't
two
there
small.
supposed to be one more horse?
Chikari has
I thought there was 2 horses.
This horse. This horse that Rien's got, Torrent that Yash Trevor's got, Kobak that Shikari's got, and the pony that Io's got.
I must have misunderstood. I thought that there was like a mare that somebody offered up, and then
I think Ryan's saying that the mare is the horse.
Mare is the one that Rien has.
Got it. Missed that. Didn't catch that the first time.
Quick thing. It doesn't involve roleplay, but could Rien find the owner of the horse, explain that she needs to borrow the horse, and before she leaves, she will give him 10 gold pieces. No, 15. 15 sounds good. 17 just to make it sure. And she'll also hand him 5 fish hooks because she's taking away potentially his source of food, and that seems
Like, are we
really
talking
great.
just regular old fish hooks, or are these like fly fishing done up hooks?
Yeah, fly fishing. She's made them when she's had downtime. So these are obviously like not just regular fish hooks, but these are like quality.
Right on. So yeah, the guy that was at the town meeting is happy to offer up the mare that you have so heroically recovered for them.
How about
Okay,
that?
so Seneca, you're small, right?
She is short. Yes.
Well, I'm just trying to pair things up. So I figure it's Chikari and maybe Bantu with Kobak, Torrent or Yas and Crow with Torrent, Io with the pony, Rien with the horse, and then
Bree will walk.
I was say if
I think we might be going too fast for walking.
Bree,
I'm as
Io,
fast
and
as your
Seneca, if we're all
Oh, well,
smallish.
You're as fast as a horse?
I am.
Which movement speed do you have?
40.
Jeez.
Barbarian.
Ah, yes.
My
Yeah,
little
Io
legs move super fast.
Io definitely needs the horse or the pony if he's going to keep up with the stuff. So
All I have is the JPEG. I don't have it.
I mean, Seneca could ride in the cart with Crow, or even
Indeed,
on.
yeah.
Who does Torrent belong to?
Oh, maybe it's my stuff.
It's yes.
that's Yas.
Oh, then yeah, she could ride in the cart with Crow then.
I will share tea with you, absolutely.
Yeah. Axe Beak, the creature that Kobak is, its speed is 50 feet. So if your speed can be any way faster than that, then do not take Axe Beak. But if Bantu wants to hop on, he can hop on.
Yeah, if Bontu's on there with you, and they're there with Yastra, Rien's got her horse, Bendra's got his pony, and Bree is, the fastest small person ever, we should be good.
Cool.
So let's make our way down south.
With that,
Crow will pour Seneca a cup of tea.
Sets off. Who is leading this adventuring party? Who is the one making these survival checks for this group?
Can Rien do it?
Is there a way
Can Rien do it?
Yeah, why not?
What were you doing, Nick?
Oh, I was thinking of maybe getting one of the scouts to come with us, but then I thought, they probably need them with the town more.
Hell yeah.
Because we're not going to be there, especially if anything happens. They need all the fighters they can have, I would think. We're volunteering to do this expedition. When we pulled the town, we did not. Hold on, Shikari's going to slip in a character for this. When we pulled the town, when I asked them their opinion, I did not say that we would be taking any of the guardsmen from the town. And actually, I specifically said your state of protection around the town would not change aside from this particular party leaving. So I'd feel disingenuous and on leaving, we wouldn't be acting on their good faith in that case if we decided to just peel some of these guards away from their task. Please don't make me do it.
I was just thinking like maybe Jasper, but he's pretty much in charge, so probably not a good idea.
He's got to stay if anyone has to. Okay, glad we had this talk.
So yeah, Rian is gonna lead the way, I guess. On Iftia.
Yes. It is the name of one of the currents that brings us out to one of the many fishing grounds.
Wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
Rin, feel free to go ahead and roll me a perception check then.
No, that's stealth.
That's a stealth check.
Wait, no, that's percent.
That's a percent.
Wow.
16. It's, I don't know, about 6 or so hours into your guys' trek on horse and cart back, and pony back, and axe beak back, and foot. And you guys are trekking through these woods, and it's about the time that your muscles are starting to get a little bit sore in the day that Rian, you start hearing just across somewhere across the next hill or two, what sounds to be a pack of wolves. First howl that you catch that gets echoed by a second, third, and quickly followed up by a fifth or sixth. Make out the sound of wolves somewhere nearby that appear to be hunting as you guys are continuing your trek south.
But no goblins, nothing.
No sign of any goblins. Not with the 16.
Does it look like they might have been through here, or that 16 is I just hear wolves?
16, you can hear the wolves. You've caught the occasional remains of a forest critter here or there, but nothing that looks to be slain by any sort of goblin pack or troop. You do make out the occasional web, and that's sort of what you're using as a rough approximation for a trail. Some of these large webs leave sort of tendrils and strands that are of particularly abnormally large size, and that's kind of what's tipping you off that these are left behind by giant spiders, and you're continuing to follow those where you find them. For the giant spiders that the bugbears were riding on.
Oh, right.
The ones carrying the people.
I heard the scary part, not the logic part.
Because spiders are spooky.
Then Rian is going to relay the information to the back, pulling back from the front, and tell them there are wolves. They seem to be hunting. If we keep going on, they won't bother us. Maybe.
Brienne, as you are calling back out towards the rest of the party, it's beside the wagon that Yastrev, Crow, and Seneca are on that you spot what looks to be a red-capped mushroom. And when you passed it, you paid no mind to the pair of badger heads that were just peeking out from underneath it. But now that you're taking a second look at this new angle, those badger heads aren't just tucked underneath that mushroom. There looks to be a whole figure hidden underneath that space. Oh, it's on the wrong layer. Say bye.
Crow would have put away her tea set along the ride.
Something like this guy hiding out underneath, like at the base of one of these trees, well enough concealed that you might not have noticed him on your initial pass. But there, about 20 feet away from Yastrev's cart, is this what looks like a hobgoblin druid of sorts.
Wait, I don't see it.
about to... Nope. How about if I do that?
He's so cute. We have to keep him.
And we're just passing him, right?
You have already passed him, and he is beside the wagon that Yastrev is pulling, just ahead of the wagon that Shikari is towing.
So is he following us or is he stationary? Sorry, Ryan.
He is hiding out in a tree. He's stationary. He's at the base of a tree, and if you hadn't looked back at this moment, you would have just thought he was a mushroom that you were passing by. But you see, like, he is like in an almost fetal-like ball, curled up and tucked away like he is actively hiding. What would you like to do?
Okay. Rien is going to yell for the party to stop. And even before they've gone to a complete stop, she is going to ride back to this figure and like really cool hop off the horse to see what this person is doing. And
When
also,
she
like,
stops, I'll stop.
and she'll point to Trident.
Trident pointing.
Yeah, and she'll look at him, and say, "What are you doing? Who are you?"
And responding back in a small voice, Yastrev, Seneca, and Crow. At the base of the tree, that mushroom just suddenly starts talking. And for anybody that speaks Goblin, you hear this voice calling out, "If you don't mind, please just let them be. They've already been displaced, and they're not up for a fight. They're just hungry for the evening, and they'll be on their way if you just let them go."
Let who go? Wait, he's speaking Goblin?
He's speaking Goblin.
Oh, she's going to be even more hostile. What do you mean that they're already displaced? Who are you?
Friends call me Shin. Shin Vladoviz. What's your name? As the mushroom folk stands up, and he stands at about like a 4.5, 5 feet tall, kind of almost tan-skinned goblinoid hobgoblin, decked out in a number of furs and natural elements.
Shikari's going. Oh no, wait. What is it? What's the thing in language he speaks?
Goblin.
Goblin. Shikari's gonna step forward and Goblin. She's going to say, "Oi, mate. We didn't mean to trespass or nothing, and we just wanted to maybe take passage and anything we can do to listen or help."
Well, all I'm asking is that you just let the wolves by in peace. They've been uprooted by their caves, from their caves recently by a few other trespassers. Whole rowdy group up with their spiders and all, causing all sorts of problems.
Wait. How long have they been through here? Are they still there?
It wasn't more than a day or so that they set up camp.
Have they moved on?
Well, last I checked, so long as the wolves are still out and about, I wouldn't have reason to suspect.
Where are they? Can you point
The
us to
wolves'
the
howling
direction?
gets a little bit louder and is a little bit closer, some maybe 100, 150 feet off, but it is definitely closer to you guys now. And that gets echoed by another howl, some maybe few hundred feet off, but it seems as though there are a couple of wolves that seem to be closing in.
Hikari's going to like briefly explain, like, okay, what's happening to the rest of the party, like translate everything that's been said. Okay, so the wolves seem to be closing in. What should we do?
Never. We can figure that out in just a minute. Are they still there? Can you at least point us in the direction of where the trespassers were?
Can I trust you to be people of your word?
I promise we're at our own word. I will do a sealing contract, anything. Where
He spits a
are the
loogie into his hand, and he holds it out.
What's the agreement here? What exactly are the terms?
You let them wolves by, and I'll help point you out to these caves.
But where are the wolves going?
I reckon they'll just pass on through. You leave them be.
So, to the town, then?
So you're not wanting their pelts?
No, we don't want their pelts. We're trying to rescue people who were kidnapped. Yes, we'll take it. And Rianne's going to hawk a loogie
people?
and shake his hand. Yes, villagers, at least a day, at least, how long have you been traveling? 10 hours?
It's been about 18 hours now.
About a day ago. Yes, we do.
Hikari's gonna turn to the rest of the party and says, Brianne's just agreed to let the wolves pass by us going that direction. So we just need to travel and not attack them. That's the deal.
Should we stay still so they don't come after us? I don't know about you, but they don't sound super like they sound hungry. And if I'm with some,
apparently we're supposed to just let them pass.
Well, if you don't mind telling your giant folk to just stand still. And this figure in the mushroom starts to swirl his hands around as there's a disturbance in the elements of the nature around you guys. He starts casting a spell.
What's happening? Oh, God.
He starts swirling and continuing with the material and somatic components.
Can I do a check on which spell he's casting? Like a knowledge arcana check?
Can I help him if he needs it?
How would you like to assist?
21.
He got it. He doesn't need my help.
All right. Bantu, you start noticing some of the vines and the plant life around here start to almost consolidate and swirl around. And it doesn't seem to be a hostile spell that is being cast, but it seems as though the brushwork is being almost redirected in order to entangle some of the cart and the horse to better conceal the party from the passing by wolves. As Yastrev's cart has a number of vines start creeping up from the wheels and start wrapping around and offering a sort of almost camo-like cover concealment to it.
I got my eye on you. Bantu won't punch him.
As there's a pack of wolves that comes just over the next tree line, starts making their way. Oh, players, of course. They're gonna go wolves.
Wolves?
They are not small wolves.
No, they're not.
Crow's gonna hold her breath also because that makes sense.
So, everybody attempting to do something to conceal themselves can make a stealth check with advantage. Everybody else, feel free to roll me a stealth check.
Good thing I got a 10 with advantage.
So I'm gonna try and the direction that I see the creatures coming. I'm gonna try and in my math in my head do some math and be like, if I stand just so with Kobach facing forward, they might think that the hips are just bumpies in the tree. And try and, like, be as natural as we can. Yes. I need to roll such.
You guys are really stealthy
If
party.
you're trying to be stealthy, then yes.
I mean, we are. Oh no, I rolled a nat 1. So we're not doing a very good job, me and
You get
Kovac.
advantage though, right?
You know what? If I'm not gonna let Kovac not get caught. Do I get advantage?
You're trying to hide, so you get to roll with advantage.
Oh, okay. So I'm trying to be as not suspicious as I can be, so.
Yeah, didn't you say something about trying to make your hips look like just part of a tree?
Yeah.
Concealing yourself behind.
Because I mean, there's nothing that looks more tree-like than a nice pair of hips.
15.
15's better.
Kovac's like basically a giant, ostrich.
As the party does their darndest, conceal themselves, as a number of these wolves start to rush on by, the one of the larger ones in their number, however, does cut away and start sniffing about nearby where Shikari and Bantu and that cart are at.
I'm sorry.
Anybody doing anything at this moment?
Don't being suspicious.
We need a seagull call.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
All right.
Yeah.
The dire wolf is going to
Extra.
make a perception check with advantage because it's against something it's trying to sniff at.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Cool. The dire wolf is going to sniff for a moment. Before the audible sound of another wolf howling from the pack up ahead diverts its attention, it jolts its head up and takes off running after the other wolves.
Oh my god.
Like a natural 4 and a natural 8.
Damn, Shikari, that was a close one.
I think it wasn't so much our performance as their stupidity, but I'll take it.
I think that thing could eat you in one bite.
Oh.
That's probably true, but
And then Common, this hobgoblin responds, "Oh, for definitely, that guy could certainly gobble you up with a bite or two."
Wait, you talk?
I've been talking this whole time. You haven't been hearing me?
Not in words that I could understand, no. You
Well,
were
I'm
talking
sorry,
that
then, friend. It
gobbo
sounds
talk.
like you might got something in your ears.
I just don't speak gobbo.
You know, I know a few slugs that might be able to help with something like that.
We're speaking goblin?
No, with cleaning out your ears.
My ears are fine. I just don't
You sure
speak
you don't want a
goblin.
couple of
You guys were
slugs?
speaking in goblin.
Right. You don't speak the finest language ever found?
I speak orc.
Oh, that's a terrible shame.
I changed my mind. I want to punch him.
No,
Oh,
we're not
no.
going to punch him.
Oh, fine.
Not too
But,
particularly fond of being punched like you orc folk.
Shin. About our deal, we just completed it. We didn't.
Right. As he begins to swirl his hands, as the vines begin to almost release their grip on the wagon and unfurl. As the wagon becomes visible once again. And Torrent is all a panic.
Oh no, Zazzles.
Exactly.
Just like that.
Exactly like Zazzles.
Just causing problems all the time.
Yep.
Torrent is jumping off of the wardrobe right now. It's disastrous.
He shat on your couch.
Towards dry heaving.
Mm-hmm.
Right then. So deal's a deal, I suppose. If you guys won't mind following me, I guess this way.
I'll follow the
No,
mushroom.
I'll
Well,
follow
I'll
him.
stay in the cart, but I'm excited to follow the mushroom man.
I'll follow him.
Walking kind of east southeast.
I don't know directions.
Where do you
And
think
it's
Shikari
about-
are we following him?
10 minutes into this that he starts to seem a little bit more familiar with the trail before humming a song to himself. So, what brings you fine folk out into the forest again? How many friends we talking? A lot of fine folk for you to risk your lives out in a forest like this for.
At least 4 that were taken. How long until we reach the cave? I'm sorry. It is just, we need to rescue them and we don't know where they are or what is happening to them. How many?
No. Sorry. Right. No, it's just it's in a little outcropping just up the ways here. Some not more than like another half hour.
I want to do an insight check.
Has anybody insight checked this guy?
Now that he's speaking common, me want insight.
Rianne trusts him
Same.
explicitly. Not explicitly, but 100%. This man wouldn't lie. Good God. We just need
like his
these
vibes.
people to be rescued.
It's weird. This guy's vibes shifted from I'm not positive if I can trust these guys before the wolf incident to after the wolf incident of acting like you guys have been lifelong friends. Like he is bouncing with every step. He is humming along and like he's obviously got his guard dropped with you guys at his back. He probably shouldn't be this comfortable with a bunch of strangers. Nevertheless, here he is. But I mean, you're not gathering any sort of hostile intent from the guy at the very least. And he seems to be forthcoming, if a bit dim.
This seems like a trap.
Seneca will say to him, I can't help but have noticed that you said that we are in the forest again. Have you met these people before?
Well, I mean, they passed through here once, but they seemed a bit more interested in something up that way. And he starts pointing in the direction that you guys were coming from. They didn't really stick around that first time through.
No, didn't he say asking why we were in the forest again?
Oh, did I? Well, what brings you to the forest again this time round? I assume it's not your first time in the forest, is it?
Rescuing the people that were taken.
Right. I remember now. So, like I said, the cave's just another 20 minutes up the way here. And another 20 minutes goes passing by.
We're all just following this person.
He continues to
We're
try
following
and
the
get
mushroom.
to hum along to a song that nobody else has ever heard.
Not even Bantu?
I don't trust this guy.
How are we
After the 20 minutes goes by, are we at the cave?
Well, let me see if I can bring you guys to this map.
Rianne,
That means yes.
Okay,
Hasn't
good.
mentioned
Because if the answer was no, we were about to have a change in attitude here.
Cool.
How does that?
I was worried we were about to find out that this guy was like medieval fantasy Blair Witch or something.
I got to admit, Orion, that looks like a butthole.
Wait, I want to see the butthole.
Nick, I'm concerned about your butthole.
What part are you looking at that looks like a butthole?
I'm wondering that too.
That part right there.
Double the vision we have. Onto conceive.
I would like to continue far enough to see the
When it
butthole.
starts getting a
Yeah.
bit later in the evening. The sun starts going down over the tree line. It gets
Yeah,
a
where's
bit
the
late,
butthole?
but the bugbear points
That's the
toward
butthole.
the cave opening, just up the way where water looks to be spilling out. He says, just up yonder, you should find a few goblins. I believe a couple of bugbears scattered around in their numbers. I'm not quite sure how many. You know, it's not really my job to count bugbears or goblins. You know, I was doing my darndest to try and just stay out of their way, and so I wasn't really watching them. If you catch my drift.
I mean, maybe we don't have to go into the cave with the bugbears. Maybe we just wait out here and wait for them to come out.
Oh, sure, that's gotta be an option, I bet.
Is there another way outside the cave, or is this the only entrance, the only way out?
I have no idea. I've never been in these caves before. I'm just going based off of what the wolves were telling us.
Can
You want to go back and we can ask them,
no?
but I wish I would have known then, because I would have asked the wolves. That's a good question, though.
Can we hear any voices coming from the cave?
How far out would you like to perceive?
Well, this might be a good chance for that invisibility trick again, EO.
I mean, I can if you'd like. But I do think we need to remember this time that it only lasts so long.
It had a time limit.
Yeah, it's like an hour. I kind of kept track last time.
Oh my god, I did not know.
Wait,
I
what's
think
the
that is
goal
a-
here?
Right
Scout?
now, yeah.
Scout, find if they're there. If they are, someone comes out and we tell.
Well, I can only make the one person invisible. So, Rianne, do you want to go again?
Yes.
All right, is everyone else ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Well, to stand by and be ready. We don't know what she might find.
Does anyone have anything that can make her see in the dark? I just realized that.
You know what?
If it helps, Seneca is able to see in both magical and non-magical darkness, and she has a pretty okay stealth.
Are you better than a +3?
I have +4.
She's better than me.
And I have +5.
I've got +6, but I can't see in the dark.
Why don't we send Dio in himself?
Oh.
Would he do that? Would he leave Crow? I just assumed he wouldn't.
Oh. Perfect time to kill her. I mean, what?
But,
DM says what?
Huh?
I mean, let me make sure I can in fact see in the dark. I'm pretty sure I can.
Nope. Had my eyes closed.
Yeah, I have dark vision to a range of 60 feet.
So can't see the butthole over there.
I do not see the butthole, and now it's making me angry.
I should be able to see the butthole, and I'm kind of upset that I can't because according to Ryan, it does not look like a butthole.
No, I kind of see where you're going from, where you're coming from, Nick. It does kind of look like a butthole.
But,
I'm sorry, I just had to get kind of close to it. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm causing this
Summer.
mischief.
Summer, how far is your night
Who's gonna
vision?
touch the butt?
I can see up to 120 feet in dim and dark light,
Lovely.
both magical and non-magical for future reference.
Awesome.
What in the Warlock?
The
That
old
would seem
one,
to be
my
the
guy.
thing, yeah.
You know what, Nick? I see where you're coming from.
I'm just saying.
It's not a butthole. You guys are gross.
Also, I don't know if you're still editing or not, but I should not be able to see the butthole.
I've got you having 60 feet of night vision.
Yeah. Like when I don't know, whatever you did made me be able to see it. So I don't know if maybe I can see it. Yeah, it's like I have the night vision, but now I can see everything beyond that too. I don't know why. Let me refresh. Maybe I just need to refresh. I can see past my dark vision, but that's okay. So maybe it's like I can see past it, but I can't actually see things. I don't know how the dynamic lighting works.
I should also point out that we end in 3 minutes.
What's the game plan?
I mean, I'm okay to keep going, just like.
How would you guys like to approach this cavern? Who's doing what?
EO is going to very tentatively turn to Crow. Perhaps I should be the one who goes. I don't have any trouble seeing in the dark, and well, I will certainly know when the magic is about to end.
Crow will nod. I mean, I think you're probably the best person for the job, but I'll have you know if anything does happen to you, I will go in there. So you better be safe, or you're going to be risking my life.
Understood, mistress. Understood.
She's gonna like gently pat you on the top of the head. You stay safe in there.
He's going to push his top hat back up off his eyes. Yes, mistress. All right. Well, shall we establish some sort of signal in case something goes wrong?
I could. Bontu told me of the signal previously. The bird call.
Oh yeah, you make the sound of a seagull. It's like wah!
I just don't. I don't think I'm quite as good with bird noises. What if I just scream really loud?
That works.
That would be really good.
Okay. All right. Well, here I go. And he turns himself invisible.
Real quick, would EO benefit from mage armor or no?
I already have it.
Okay, cool.
We could station ourselves around the entrance of the cave just in case anything comes out that we don't want to come out.
Stealthily, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
As soon as EO goes invisible, Crow's gonna go up to Bontu and be like, "Can you see him like you could see Rian?"
Tell me where he is.
I can't see invisibility. I knew where I knew where Rihanna was because she was picking the flowers and the flowers were disappearing. We don't have anything like that in this situation. Oh, look, his footprints.
And you see his footprints making their way slowly.
Small little depressions in the grass.
Without the stuff.
I was gonna say, did he leave the stuff?
Stuff suddenly appears.
Making his way over to... If that looks like a butthole to you guys, I really worry for your health.
Okay, look, the entrance is over here for the record. This entrance right here.
And see, I was going to this, I was like, what in the hell are you guys on?
I love the fact that we're
only a perception check or an investigation check if you want to investigate the butthole.
Look who's on board!
Okay, here goes the investigation check.
Wait, are you investigating the butthole or not? Because you just moved your token.
I am moving to the cave entrance.
Okay.
And trying to listen before I go in. So that was a 9 perception.
9 perception. You can hear a number of voices echoing from inside and the unmistakable chitterings of goblin. There are several goblins in the next cavern of this cave.
All right. I'm going to start making my way in stealthily.
Of course. 1 second.
21 for stealth.
Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good.
Oh, God.
All right.
There's a giant number 8.
You should start seeing a few figures in that space.
I do see a couple of what I believe are goblins. There's
Number
the
of
archer
goblins.
goblins, right?
Yeah. Goblin minions and warriors, if you had to classify them. As you start creeping into this cave. There's a waterfall somewhere towards the back of this cavern, causing a sort of crash of water, making this almost white noise that is filling this cavern down here, almost muffling a number of those chittering goblin voices, making it a bit more difficult to estimate how many were in here originally. But you can see the space is relatively full of goblins, but no signs of any giant spiders, bugbears, or prisoners.
Okay. Trusting to a little bit of luck, Eo's gonna sort of walk right next to where this water is and try to see as far back in the cave as he can.
Roll me a perception check.
That is a total of an 18.
18 is wonderful. As you see, drawing your attention upwards, something about that waterfall causes you to look up. As you do, you see the cave keeps going up to what looks to be another room, some 40 feet above this cavern where all of these goblins are down here. As well as at the back of this room, looks to be a figure looming and in charge of the goblins here. Some sort of a hobgoblin warrior of sorts, who seems to be barking out orders, and the goblins scatter in the directions that he's pointing to start tending to different tasks in these caves.
Does he look to be dressed like the same ones that tried to kidnap Crow?
He looks strangely familiar to some of the tribesmen that were attacking the South Gate.
Okay.
Some of the same sort of markings on their war paints, tattoos, and distinguishing items in their clothing. But I think that's where we're going to pick up next time. You spot in the opening to the floor above, in this goblin-infested cavern.
Oh boy.
Hell yeah.
Well, that was a fun session.
It was.
It was.
It was good.
It had everything.
Even buttholes.
Nobody investigated the butthole, though. Nobody rolled.
Not yet.
There's always time.